See if it works.
Why wouldn't it?
I don't know. It's like asking why your internet doesn't always work.
Uh-huh.
It's like you sound like a fucking robot.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we are live. How are we live unless I didn't hit the live button yet? Whatever, that's fine. The fuck is Vinnie?
I don't know. I just find Nick is about getting started early, and he's not here.
You found the kazoos to what?
What?
You said something about finding kazoos. That's all I caught, and I don't even know what you said. You're all fucked up.
I said I found it funny because he's the one that wanted to start early.
You need a new computer, man.
Computer's on. So is my internet.
No, bro. Me and Vinny are always good. It's always you. You're like, bleh, bleh.
Mm-hmm.
Zeb Wells is now the second highest episode.
After who?
The last Blockbuster. I told you.
Why the hell is that the second high or the highest?
I don't know.
Weird.
Oh, I gotta figure out where those videos are.
Videos? What do you got videos for?
Saint. Did I really start that fucking shit in black, man? Oh, here he is, finally. About damn time.
Here I am.
Is your mic set properly?
Always is.
That's not true. You know that.
In the beginning it wasn't. Now it is all the time.
Don't get an attitude with me, mister.
Come on now.
I think Zeb's wasn't set right the other day. I feel like it was recording off his AirPods,
Oh,
but
really?
I didn't notice it until we were already in the middle of it. So whatever.
Huh.
It's fine. It sounds fine.
Wonderful.
Did you listen to the Mike EP interview?
Nah, some of it, but not all of it.
I'm just exporting the Saint video that I failed to do earlier. Sorry, Saint. Motherfucker. Okay. Export. What?
Talking to my kid.
Oh.
Crawling behind the couch so he doesn't show up on video.
I love that. It's so fun.
Yeah, we could do.
All right. There we go. All right, we're live on YouTube and now I'm recording. Really dragging this week, but we'll figure it out. It's all that noise. Is that your house, Jeremy? It's always your house.
It's his house.
No, what the fuck are you talking? There's no noise.
I have nothing here. Nobody's here.
Yeah, I just muted him. Yeah, it's definitely his house.
Yeah, it's his house.
Ask to unmute, motherfucker.
Lots of activity going on there. He's got a household. He's got a household going on.
They're watching TV. What do you want me to do?
Tell him to put on some headphones.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen.
All right, let's do this. I'm tired.
You're ugly too. What's that have to do with it?
Heyo.
Your mother's ugly.
Heyo.
That's true. She's a bitch too. If it helps.
Heyo.
Anyway.
Yeah, your nephew's been listening to this. This is all gonna get back to.
Okay.
I was just kidding, Logan. So you can just
I've-
footnote that.
I've said worse to her. So what's the difference?
Welcome to a new episode of The Usual Saints. I'm Mike D here with Head and Vinny.
Ed.
Son of a bitch. I'll change it.
Nerd.
He's never gonna change it. He's never gonna figure it out. It's gonna be the ongoing
I
joke.
don't know how to change it ever for good. I can change it like for weekly. I don't know.
Hey Vinny, I'm just checking to make sure it's not just me because me and Jeremy were having this talk before you got here. Does he slow down? Does he go like when you see him sometimes? Like his internet sucks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I thought. Thanks. Jeremy, you suck.
From time to time. Not all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
You guys want to start out with one of the? I got two Saint videos this week. But so they're really short, but they cover topics on our list. So you guys want to start out with that?
Absolutely.
Sure.
All right.
I haven't seen him in a while. I miss him.
Let's see if I figure this out. Share the video. Click there. And
there he is.
There we go. All right, here we go.
What's going on, my usual saints? It's the most unusual saint reporting live from the Barren Sea once again. Been a rough couple of weeks. Weather's been cold and rough and wet, but should have approximately less than a month left, less than 4 weeks left out here, and I'll be live once again from the studio, back with my boys. Just want to hit on a few topics. First, the Georgia elections. You see, the Georgia Republican Party has decided that if they can't convince people to vote for them, they are going to change election laws and change whatever results come about. Obviously, this is the result of Georgia going blue, Biden winning, and the two Democrats winning the Georgia Senate seats. And now they've enacted basically Jim Crow 2.0 in Georgia. I'd love to hear Vinny's thoughts of it. You know, Vinny, you stay in Atlanta. This is your neck of the woods. But just to see a political party decide, well, if we don't like the results of elections, we're going to stack it so that way we can change the election and, you know, make it that much harder for minorities, particularly African Americans and impoverished people, to vote. And if we don't like the way they voted, we'll just put ourselves in power to change it. And I think this needs much more attention. It's dangerous. It's fundamentally goes against everything our democracy has stand for. And I think this is going to be something that's going to have to go to the Supreme Court, even though I don't have much faith in our current Supreme Court. So, yeah.
So there's lots to unpack there. Obviously, he wanted your thoughts because you're directly affected by it. You know, up in Georgia. You know, what are your thoughts on it, Vinny? What do you got?
Well, you know, I'm totally against it. You know, it's just like he said. I mean, everything he said, I totally agree with. It's a throwback to you know, to times when you know, certain people couldn't vote, and you know, just taking control of the voting system, so the final results pan out for a particular party is just it's just awful that it's come to that, and that it's a possibility that it's going to be taking place. So, yeah, Jim Crow for sure. Jim Crow 2.0, like you said. They're going to make it tougher for minorities. Plus, if you go and stand in line, you can't get water. So that's horseshit. I mean, it's a bullshit thing that's happening up here, and a lot of people are up in arms, of course. There's protests at the Capitol, you know, almost on a daily basis. So, yeah, I'm totally against it. I'm with Saints on this all the way.
Yeah, I saw that they took the power away from the Secretary of State as well because they didn't agree with him, I guess bad mouthing or disagreeing with Trump
Right.
last year. So
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen plenty of people. The ACLU's already filed a case against it.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of people say, I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I'm going to give people water in line. That's
Well,
like
yeah.
a basic thing.
I mean, come on, man. That is just so ridiculous.
Well, I mean, that's taking it to a little far. It's not just a matter of giving them water in line. It's within a certain distance from the building, which you're not allowed to campaign within that distance anyway. So,
Yeah.
or at least in most states. So the people in line, if they're more than 125 feet away, you're not supposed to be giving them shit once they're inside that. But it's not worried about just water. It's also money or other gifts is how the law is spelled out. It's people are latching on to one small part of it, and that's the news soundbite you're hearing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that's true, but that's what makes the news because that's what is.
Because they're going for viewers instead of actually reporting the news.
But that is what is actually targeting the minorities and the people who have to wait 8 to 10 to 12 to more hours in line. So if they're in that line, and you're correct, because I don't know if you're accurate about that being outside the 150-foot thing, and as opposed to just being in the line. If you're talking about the 150-foot thing, I worked as a poll worker. I know that's true. So then fine, I understand that if within the 150, 125 feet. But if you're outside that and it's still, what was it? It was misdemeanor or felony? I forget, for giving water or whatever. But that's, listen, I get it, but this is to an extreme. This is draconian. Like this is disenfranchising voters, and somehow the governor's trying to spin it like, oh, we're extending early voting. Oh, we're doing this. And maybe that is in the bill, but with all the other shit that they tacked on there to kind of slide it in and get it under, to screw people over, it's not a good situation, man. Like, we should be expanding and making it easier for people to vote, not making it harder for them to vote.
I think the big difference is making it easier to legally vote is what their argument would be, instead of just easier for everyone to vote, because only the people that should be legally voting should have it easy to vote.
But where's the issue where people are illegally voting? Like, voter fraud is like non-existent in every state. That's been disproven over and over again. So I don't know what you're talking about. Can you help me out here?
Voter fraud didn't get investigated very thoroughly by the media, at least. And what
you forgot your MAGA hat this week.
Well, when you decide ahead of time that it's done, and I'm good with that. Biden won the election. I'm fine with that. But voter fraud has been a part of politics forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if all you have to do is request a ballot with just having a name and no proof other than a signature that, is looked at by a person who's not an expert in signatures or anything else, that's ripe for voter fraud there.
But we already covered this. I discussed back when Heather and I voted early and through the mail, and they sent a letter to her saying, hey, your signature doesn't match. We're going to accept your thing, but you need to update your signature. And sure enough, we did that. And that's down here in Florida.
And you think that happened everywhere, though?
I feel like people are actually having eyes on it. I'm not saying that everyone's perfect, but what are the percentages of voter fraud? They're like minuscule. They're like less than 0.1%, something like that. It's like ridiculous. It's like there's not enough to make a difference in elections. And that doesn't mean that I don't think everyone's vote should count, but by doing these little things like they're doing in Georgia, it's just making people not want to go vote. I mean, I just watched, what movie was I watching? Oh, it was Narcos, Narcos Mexico. And so this actually took place in the 80s. It was 1988 presidential election. And they had some weird system where, and obviously it's 88, so it doesn't matter. It's computers and back then and blah, blah, blah. But so they're basically saying that there was one political party, whoever they decide was their candidate was going to be the president, that kind of thing. There was some up and comer that was getting the votes of like the people in the rural areas and whatnot. The problem is the people in the cities were voting first, and that would be televised in Mexico. And obviously there's a lot of corruption and stuff down there. So that's its own thing. But that's kind of the thing here too. Like if people see results on TV, like, oh, hey, this guy's already winning, what's my one vote gonna count? And so that kind of mentality, I mean, I think people do have that mentality. Like if they just get off work at 6 and they got to be somewhere by 7, they're like, it's not going to matter. My one vote's not going to matter. And so every little thing they do to make people not feel like their vote counts or not go out, it just sucks, man. Like this is supposed to be okay, a democratic republic, whatever, a republic, but it shouldn't be difficult to vote. Like I'm always voting by mail from now on. Like that was so easy. I could check it on the website. It was absolutely the best thing I can imagine. And I'm not going to change that. And I hope more people do that. But there's like something, I feel like, is it 40 something states like are trying to, it is voter suppression. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's in some way, it's making it more difficult for certain people to vote. Now, whether or not you want to say that's minorities or you want to say that's, any particular ethnicities or anything like that, or just the people in general. I mean, we should be making it easier for people in this country. And yes, we should be looking into any potential voter fraud if there is proof or accusations of it. Yeah. But I don't think it's actually enough to change the outcome of an election. This isn't Russia. This isn't, like I discussed Mexico and Narcos and everything. Obviously, that's a fictionalized show, but it actually did happen. so that's just my thoughts. I don't know. I feel like I've been ranting a lot. I'm sorry, guys.
No, you're good, man.
What else?
You're good. Yeah.
And I'm just passionate about it because, I believe strongly. Yeah. I believe strongly in people, exercising their right to vote, and, even we've discussed my dad on here, my dad, hardcore conservative, I'm pretty sure he voted for Trump in the last election. I can't get my mind past that, but you know what? Let him go vote, and my mom and his vote will cancel each other out. But that's what we're supposed to do, and the people who I hear some people I can't put any specific examples and I want to put them on blast anyway, but I know I've met people that are like, oh yeah, I've never voted once in my life, and they're like 30, 40 years old. I'm like, come on, man. You gotta think that these things mean something, especially on a local level, because people you elect on a local level are the ones that eventually they're going to become political stars eventually, but also they're the ones who create the things that are going to affect you most. I mean, the federal level is going to affect you, but not as much as your local ones, like, what's going on in Georgia now.
Anyway. Your local ones, you can get, you have the opportunity to get close to and to, really know what kind of person they are before they get, polluted by, the rest of the cronies in Washington. But yeah, I think local levels is very important at the beginning of this, that way who you're getting, before they get too far into their political career, and make a difference by voting them out if they're not doing their job. Local government is very important. People should, and some people don't even vote, locally. They just wait for the national ticket. But locally is very important, from council people to, senators, representatives, all those. Yeah, should definitely keep an eye on them too. Make sure they're doing their job. I think constituents should keep an eye on their political leaders, to make sure they're doing what they promise, or at least try to anyway.
Right. And that's, I mean, that people don't educate themselves either. Like I had a guy come out to the primary last August, and he's like, oh yeah, I'm here to vote for this candidate. I'm like, well, sorry, dude, Florida's a closed primary state. So if you have to vote for this person or that's it, basically. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I'm like, well, you can come out on the general and you can vote for whoever you want, but that's how Florida is, Yeah. I don't necessarily love the closed primary thing. I think, more like open primary with like the top vote getters and, go on to the general kind of thing. But
sure,
that might also, in a heavily conservative or heavy liberal area, that might cause problems. I don't know how that would work. I'm not familiar enough to say that whether both parties would have to have at least one candidate and maybe a third candidate would come along, or if two from the same party would go to the general. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't know how that works. I don't know if you guys have any idea, but I don't.
No, I don't know how that works.
All right. Jeremy, anything else? Vinny, anything else on that? I mean, listen, it's just a crappy situation,
I think
but
we pretty much covered it and gave our opinions about it. So yeah, it's a crappy situation. I hate to see it going on in my now home state, but we'll see what happens.
Damn, it's hot in here, man. I'm gonna be stripping on camera. Oh yeah.
Damn.
Jeremy, I love that Jeremy mutes himself so you don't have to hear the household noise, but I feel like you're pretty good about coming on when you have something witty to say.
There's nothing bad with the background noise. I don't care. It doesn't bother me.
Yeah, it's fine. Vinny sounds like he's in a tin can. You got the whole
I do not sound like I'm in a tin can.
Hey, at least we both look good, Vinny.
That's right. That's right.
Is that what you're going with?
Yeah, that's what we're going with.
All right, let's hear Saint's second video for the week. Here we go.
Just real quick on the death of Jessica Walter. Since I've been on the boat, there have been a few celebrity deaths that's been on here that's kind of hit me kind of hard. I was up here when I found out Robin Williams passed away, and for some reason that suicide hit me pretty hard. But Jessica Walter, it's not as if like she was someone I'd consider like a mainstay actress or actor that I follow, but her death, just her roles on both Arrested Development and Archer, and those are the two funniest shows in the past decade of mine, and those shows simply do not work without her. And from all accounts, all her cast members, everyone was so sad about her death, and I think it's just a real loss. Don't know if Archer's going to continue on without her, and quite frankly, I don't know if it should, but that was a big-time celebrity death that, again, she's not like a main, superstar A-list actress, but that celebrity death really was something that I was like, wow, and really affected me because she was a part of two shows that I thought were some of the best comedy in the past decade.
What'd you guys think? You guys familiar with Jessica Walter? I only really knew her from Arrested Development. I never watched Archer. I tried, but I couldn't get into it. And I hear people say how hilarious it is. I just, for some reason, I'm pretty good with that kind of humor, but at the same time, I don't watch like Bob's Burgers and things like that, or Rick and Morty. I couldn't get into. So, what do you guys think? What are you guys' thoughts on Jessica Walter?
I don't know much about her, honestly.
I
watched
some
Arrested Development.
I used to watch Archer. I never watched Arrested Development, but I did watch some Archer. And I mean, she was funny. How did she die? Would she?
I don't remember. I read a little bit of it. I don't remember. I mean, she was, she was up there, but not, crazy old. She was, I think, 80. I think I
wrote that. Yeah, she was 80 years old.
Yeah. I don't remember what she died from, but I didn't even know she was like ill or something, so I'm not sure if it was sudden or what.
She had some bit parts in some movies too that she was funny in. So yeah, I mean, I knew who she was.
Right.
I wasn't too flabbergasted by her death. I mean, considering she's 80 years old, she's up there. I mean, she didn't not that I want anybody to die at whatever age, but she had a good life. I mean, if she had died like from an accident or something like that, if it's just natural causes, then
so
her head
dead,
chopped off with an axe.
Whatever. Yeah, her head was chopped off, and exactly.
A different one this past week or 2 weeks ago caught me. Houston Tumlin. Anybody know?
Someone.
Yeah, no. I saw he's some kid star that he was in Ricky Bobby
or Talladega Nights.
Talladega Nights.
Oh, he's one of the kids?
Yeah, I think he played Walker.
Walker, not Texas Ranger?
Not Texas Ranger. He it was his only film credit, but he went on to serve in the 101st Airborne and killed himself due to PTSD and depression, according to his mother.
Oh.
And that just sucks.
Absolutely.
Got to do a better job of supporting veterans. I think it's something
Sure.
like 21 veterans a week or a day or something commit
Yeah,
suicide.
it's ungodly.
It's a
I mean,
crazy number of
take their
people.
own lives. Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean,
Just,
we've talked a little bit about, without going too much into it, you had a friend that, or a coworker that you knew that, also committed suicide recently, a few months ago, right? He moved to Georgia or whatever, that guy you're talking about. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. You're totally right. Like, I don't feel like I am probably, people probably rag on me about this. In the military, I feel like it's a job, and I know that's like a shitty way to look at it, but I understand they protect the country and everything, but also that's the job, that's someone's chosen career path. But at the same time, given what they see and what they go through and the trauma and everything, I do feel that the government does not do a good enough job to support them when they come back in any capacity, especially mental health. I mean, I've been to VA down in Orlando, I've been to VA in West Palm, and it's just, it's good, I guess, it's good what services they can get, but it's just the mental aspect is what is a killer. And I don't mean that in any kind of funny way. It literally is like that untreated mental illness, or treated, and it just goes to a certain point and they can't deal with it anymore.
I mean, you're not supposed to, I mean, you're not supposed to see things like that, the way people die. I'm talking about during wartime, during battle, seeing people get blown up next to you, or decapitated, or what horrible deaths that they witness. And it's going to take a toll on your mind. You just can't unsee that. It's going to be there with you, all the stresses that they go through. I mean, every day, if you're near the front lines, you're questioning whether you're going to be able to ever talk to a friend again or whatever. I mean, it's got to weigh on you. I mean, whether you come back healthy or not, even if you don't see the worst part of it, other people dying, your colleagues, your partners, getting killed in front of you, even if you don't see that, the idea that you could die at any given moment has got to weigh on you tremendously, tremendously. I mean, we have the same thing with, law enforcement as well. I mean, they have a lot of suicides, and that job is a daily, I don't know if I'm coming home type job. Every day they walk out the door, and then when they walk out, they got a target on their back, their uniform, their badge, their car, whatever they're driving around in. It's, so yeah, I mean, these things that affect you mentally, they have to be taken care of. And I don't think the government, speaking about the military, is doing enough for them. I really don't. There's got to be more that can be done. I mean, the veterans have been treated like shit for a long time. I mean, so they don't take care of their own. So the government just takes them, sends them where they got to go, and that's about it. When they come home, it's like, well, we got these hospitals you can go to, but they suck, but you can go to them. So that's my bit.
No, I mean, I agree. Did you guys hear about the Texas Roadhouse CEO that killed himself too?
No, what happened with him?
You know Texas Roadhouse,
sure.
The restaurant.
Sure.
He had COVID. He got over COVID, but he had tinnitus so bad, I guess, after COVID that he couldn't take it and he killed himself. That's just crazy to me. Like, I mean, I've had tinnitus, according to the audiologist or whatever I saw.
Sure.
Just minor, you know what I mean? Just a little annoyance, but like to get it to the point where you have to end your life. I mean, this guy was like a successful guy, and by the articles I read, he's a family guy, and it's just a sad thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That just goes to different ways that COVID affects people. I mean, that's a COVID death, even though it's post-COVID, you know what I mean? So
yeah. Well, tinnitus, it's tinnitus, if it's real bad, I mean, I could see where it's maddening enough to where you're like, I just can't take this shit anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's a sad thing when it comes to that,
Yeah.
But COVID, yeah, like you said, another remnant of COVID. So.
Yeah. Let's finish up the deaths for the week on a happy note.
All right. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Happy note.
Yeah, on a happy note. Let's end the deaths on a happy
What the
note.
fuck is wrong with you?
No,
Is somebody we hate? Is somebody we hate? Did somebody we hate die?
No, well, I mean,
What's wrong with you?
kind of on the list. No, but what I'm saying is, it's a joke. I'm being sarcastic because we're gonna go to break in a minute here. But the 3 more deaths we had that I can remember that popped up because we keep going off on tangents on these other people, which is fine. George Siegel. I was
getting yelled at. We're getting yelled at for going on tangents.
Oh no, I don't care. You know me. I love what we do. But
Vinnie,
George Siegel,
you're an asshole. Go ahead.
George Siegel died. He was. See, I don't think these people are that old. Like, to me, Jessica Walter, seeing her on Arrested Development, yeah, it was 20 years ago, but I mean, I don't think like that. You know what I mean? Arrested Development premiered in like 2003. That's 18 years ago, and so she was 62 when she started that series, or 61 maybe. And so I think of her as that age, not 80. Same thing with George Siegel. I watched Just Shoot Me. I know he's been in a lot of stuff, but I was a big fan of Just Shoot Me with David Spade and Laura San Giacomo back in the day, and he was on that. And like, to me, I feel like, and this is where age like plays with your mind. Like, I feel like he was in his 60s, and then he's like 87, I think, when he died.
He was 87. Yeah. Did you watch the Goldbergs? Did you watch?
I didn't watch it. Everyone says they feel like I would love it, like my parents, because it's all about the 80s and all that kind of stuff. And I'm an 80s kid.
It's fine.
I'm not a big sitcom guy, as I've mentioned before. It's just I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a chance sometime. I don't know. Jeremy, anything on George Siegel? No. Nope. Okay. What about Beverly Cleary? 104 years old. You guys know who Beverly Cleary was?
Author, right?
Yeah, she wrote the Ramona Quimby series and the stuff like that. I was a big Ramona Quimby.
How long ago did they die? I mean,
within the past week, since we did the last show.
Past week, yeah.
Yeah.
I went on Wikipedia. I actually went and looked up who had died within the month of March, as far as celebrities are concerned. Wikipedia lists every day. They have a list of people who die, and they're people that, not that we know, but are famous somewhere.
Have a Wikipedia page?
No, I just went on. I just pulled up who's died, and this month, and that happened to pop up, and I went through it, and it goes every month, every day. They have a number of people, and it's a lot. It's a lot of people. Some people that aren't famous or that famous, and just from different countries and all this kind of stuff. But I found that amazing that somebody that they're actually keeping track of people who die daily and actually post it worldwide. Is that morbid to you guys, or?
I mean, I'm a morbid guy. I used to go on.
It's just a big obituary, really. If you think about it.
I mean, I used to go on. There was a website. I don't know if you guys remember Rotten.com back in the day. Like, they would post a lot of like not tactful pictures, alleged like Tupac autopsy pictures, and just things like that. And so I always have a morbid sense of curiosity. Like, I've always been interested in serial killers. Like, the other day I was looking up, I didn't realize that there were 2 serial killers on Long Island that killed a bunch of prostitutes. There was one in the 80s, early 90s, who's the one I looked up, and there's the one that a few years ago, within the past decade, killed a bunch of prostitutes.
Which I still don't think they found.
Yeah, that's right. That's why I looked it up, because when I heard someone, probably on a movie or a show, mention Joel Rifkin, and I was like, I didn't think they caught that person, but it was the guy from the 80s, 90s. And so it's just weird, Long Island, yeah, it's really populated. So, I mean, I get it. There's the chances there's probably a few serial killers on Long Island right now that we don't know about.
Sure.
But I always had that kind of morbid sense of curiosity. I'm always reading up on serial killers. John Wayne Gacy, Ted Bundy, H.H. Holmes, the guy who created, I think it was in Chicago, like this hotel with like
the murder
doors
house.
like doors lead nowhere. There's vats of acid, things like that. I mean, that's just crazy shit to me. You know what I mean? And I don't condone it or anything like that. I'm a student of psychology. That was my major. And so anything like that, understanding how humans could do that or go to that extreme is intriguing, I guess I would say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just looked up something about serial killers because I remember a movie saying, oh, the FBI says at any given time there's, so many serial killers active in the U.S. But they said in 1987 there was 198 serial killers active, only 43 in 2015, and only 2 in 2019.
Wow.
They caught them all.
Wow.
Man, most of them probably aged out.
Wow. Yeah.
No, I mean, come on. There's ones they don't know about, and then until they find out about them, and then that's when.
I think that was kind of like cases actively being investigated or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because they could tell it was an actual serial. Now there just apparently are almost none.
Okay.
So you're getting away with it.
Man, you fucking deleted the topics off the list like live in time, Jeremy.
Getting smarted.
I didn't delete shit.
What? Someone deleted the deaths. Anyway, the last death one.
I guess these guys are getting away from the shallow graves. Hey, that's how they get caught. Now we found a body in a 2-foot grave. I mean, come on, dig a hole.
Well, the ones
put effort into it.
They want to go back and visit.
I guess, but come on, man. If you want to get away with it or try to get away with it, shouldn't you dig at least a good 5-footer?
The one local to us, I think they buried them out in the middle of some orange groves. So they'll be found when they start building houses.
Excellent.
Yeah, allegedly they're in barrels out in some orange groves out west of us. But I mean, I think some people tried to look for them, so I don't think anything was ever found. So, and now the one who admits to killing people is dead, and the one who didn't admit to anything is still in jail. So
you're just mad at him because he wouldn't talk to you.
He did what? He wrote me. I could have talked to him
and said, I'm not going to talk to you because you don't know what you're talking about.
Do you want me to try to get him as a guest on the podcast?
That'd be awesome.
The murderer guy? The serial killer?
Fred Waterfield.
He claims not to be. He said it was his cousin. He got mixed up in something.
I'd be afraid to talk to that guy, to be honest with you.
Well, I would almost rather talk to the girl that got away, but I'm sure she doesn't give a lot of interviews.
Dude. Hey, walk us through what happened again.
Well, she wrote a book. And I think she even did an episode of one of those I Survived a Serial Killer or whatever.
Really?
Was part of an episode of that. But
yeah.
I think her name's Lynn Elliott.
I don't know. There's a new. I thought that was the one that passed.
I don't know. Maybe.
I think that's the one that got killed.
Okay. And
sorry, another tangent. My bad.
No, it's fine, motherfucker. I don't care. That's what we do on this show.
G. Gordon Liddy. Is that where you're going? Is that the one you're happy about? Yeah, why are you smiling, Mike?
Yeah,
why are you smiling?
Yeah.
Why are you smiling about it?
I'm smiling because of the Howard Stern thing, but
what's that?
You never heard the G. Gordon Liddy crackhead Bob phone call?
No.
So they pranked G. Gordon Liddy. He was over in Israel shooting a show. For some reason, he was doing a live show from Israel. And Sal calls in saying that his brother was captured by Al-Qaeda. And, he has some brain damage and he'd like to talk to him. And so he gets on the line and obviously it's crackhead Bob. He's like, is it two? And so, because that's crackhead Bob, because he did so much crack that he could not speak properly.
Yeah.
But, R.I.P. crackhead Bob. I can't believe all the whack packers are dying, but I guess it's to be expected.
No shit.
Crackhead Bob died. Hank.
Yeah, but I mean, recently.
Riley, they die like once a year. Joey Boots. I mean, they all just, they all just die and whatnot. But anyway, so crackhead Bob, G. Gordon Liddy's trying to talk to him like, I'm sorry, I just can't. I didn't catch that. Bob, can you tell me what? It's just funny to hear G. Gordon Liddy, this guy who, if everyone doesn't know, obviously was involved in Watergate and seemed to be proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Howard was talking about on his show today, or the other day, saying that he drove around with a license plate that said H2O Gate in Washington. This guy was so proud to be fucking involved with this. I mean, basically, I don't know. It's not voter suppression. What would we call it? Election tampering. Figuring out about the other political party.
Right.
It's just he was 90. So I mean, all these guys are pretty old. It's not except for the the guy you mentioned from that horrible movie with Will Ferrell, Talladega Nights. I hate that movie.
Sorry you can't just enjoy yourself. It's too you got to be too serious and Eventually this counterculture shit you have, it's going to be too popular and you'll have to go back to just liking normal shit to be edgy.
I love good stuff, but it has to be like old school dodgeball stuff like that. That's what I like. I don't like any. Elf was okay, I guess, but I just saw that for the first time recently.
So you like old school, but you don't like Talladega Nights. It's the same comedy.
No, it's not. I feel like it's too much Will Ferrell, and I like John C. Reilly. I just don't know if I like John C. Reilly doing comedy. I don't know, but whatever. All right.
Finished
Anything
Ted
else?
Lasso.
Oh yeah,
I finally finished season 1 of Ted Lasso. My wife is pissed that they haven't started the second season yet.
they just renewed it. Like, not recently, but he just won
Last
the
year?
Golden Globe or SAG or something.
What is Ted Lasso on?
Oh, it's on
Apple
Apple Plus. You don't watch it, Vinny?
I don't have Apple. No, I don't have Apple Plus.
It's funny.
Yeah,
we're thinking about watching the morning show next.
Yeah. It's probably one of the best shows last year, and see, that was very heartfelt and whatnot, but it's also vulgar and whatnot, and it's got that really hot chick Juno Temple in it, so that's always a plus. But Ted Lasso is a American football coach, right?
That's right.
Okay, he's an American football coach, I think a college coach, and this soccer team over in England hires him to be their head coach.
Who's the star? Who's the star?
Jason Sudeikis.
Oh, okay.
Who plays Beard?
I don't know who plays Beard. I don't know if I've seen him in anything. He's great. I just don't know if I've seen him in anything else. But yeah, it's really heartfelt, but it's also just straight up funny. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
It's a good show. It's probably one of the better ones I saw within the past year.
Yeah, I watched Bad Trip today.
I know. We're going to talk about that after the break. We're going to take a quick break.
Beautiful.
We'll take a quick break. You're listening to The Usual Saints. We'll be right back. Let me stop and let me re-record. And there I'm re-recording. Hey, we're back from the break. Welcome back to The Usual Saints. Wow,
that was a long break.
Before we get into Bad Trip, I mistakenly wanted to get to Saints so quickly that we didn't start the show like we usually do. You guys have any updates in the past week that's not on our topic list or anything, or anything that's going on in your lives? I mean, Jeremy obviously is having some kind of spinal issue.
Wow.
I can only see like
scoliosis. Let's get some scoliosis going on.
I can only see his chin and up. So I don't know. Like he has that webcam pointed like at the ceiling. Like
yeah.
Like bagging on him. Is that a Mets shirt?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Go Mets. Nah, no news. No news.
They didn't get to play today.
Same old, same old.
Okay. How's the job going? Still in training, right?
Going good. Yeah. Still in training.
Okay. Still paying you?
Yeah, still paying me. That's the most important part.
How's your job, Mike? You back working yet?
No, I have to go to the doctor tomorrow to theoretically get clearance because my FMLA work runs out on Saturday. And my boss called me today without going too much into it, but she's like, hey, I need you to do me a favor. And so she wants me to work on call tomorrow, as long as the doctor doesn't say that I can't work. You know what I mean? And so because someone else can't do it. And I hate on call because it's the unknown. I've gotten kind of used to it. It's just, from 4 p.m. till 8 a.m., I don't know what will be going on. So I have to have my phone with me. And the worst is the 3 a.m. phone call. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And I go look at it. And sometimes I've actually been successful. I know we don't talk about my job because I don't want to get into it, but I do cases and stuff like that. I've been successful in getting things downgraded, or where I don't have to go out of the house and do it. So I'm always happy when that kind of thing happens. Like, I can't get into it because I don't want to say what I do, but it just sucks, but that's fine. So theoretically, tomorrow's the beginning of a new work week. Theoretically, I should be starting back tomorrow, even though I told her Monday would be my official first day back. So
can't be too far away from the county. What's the deal when you're on call?
No, they don't care. You just have to respond within a certain amount of time.
So you can't be drinking.
Theoretically.
Theoretically, I liked it. I like it.
Well, we've joked about it. Me and I don't want to get into it. Some people that I work with have joked about it. Listen, like if you have one, it's not going to kill you. But yeah,
Right,
you don't want to
right.
be slosh showing up at places. So.
Right. Sure.
Probably not a good idea. No.
No, not a good look, especially when you're showing up and law enforcement's usually there.
Yeah. Right.
Jeremy, anything going on with you?
Getting ready to go into an outage, so that's a lot of fun. Getting too much work. About a month.
That's
about 6 weeks of 4 12-hour night shifts on, 1 day off. And
Wow.
just repeat.
That's when you get that $500,000
That's not great.
bonus.
Yeah. There.
There you go.
Yeah. Not so much.
I can't believe you haven't set up the crawl space studio yet. I really think that's a good idea. Like you need to soundproof it. Like you can get soundproofing on Amazon for like $12.
Yeah, you go ahead and come and put some drywall up. You can take care of it. I don't know how you get it in there, but whatever.
I don't have a key to your house. You should probably just hire someone, rich man.
I can put a one-time code on the front door.
There you go.
Is your robot butler going to let me into the house?
Robot butler.
No, we only have a robot vacuum. I don't know what you're talking about.
Fucking
All
robot butler.
Oh, hey, that's going to be the future.
Hey.
Not in my house. I don't want a fucking robot in my house.
Oh, no, I meant fucking a robot butler.
Oh, okay.
Instead of the pillows.
Yeah, well,
that is how
that'd be a step
pretty
up.
much. Well, imagine what the internet would be without porn. I mean, would there be all this video chat and everything if not for that?
Can I tell you guys, what was that weird wink you had there, Jeremy? Is that for Jeff?
My kid is looking at me, because he heard what I said.
Yeah, I saw him behind you, and I forgot what we were talking about.
Yes,
come on, like Jeff hasn't. Oh, I know what Jeff's been looking at.
Technology advances a lot of times. I mean, because of mostly guys wanting to see porn.
I remember. I don't know if I should. Does he listen to the show? Does Jeff listen to the show? Oh, I can't say because Logan does.
I wouldn't go there. Yeah, I wouldn't go there.
I remember when your wife said something. I was like, oh, that's so funny. We can't get into it.
Moving on.
Jeremy, did you have a chance to watch Bad Trip?
I did not.
Oh, see, I don't know, Vinny. Can we talk about it without ruining it? Shall we wait till next week?
I mean, what's to ruin, really? I mean,
it's funny. It's a prank comedy with basically a thin plot that they try to stick to.
Yeah, very thin. Thread thin for sure.
All right.
Are you guys fans of Eric Andre? Like I've been watching the Eric Andre show for all 5 seasons. He's hilarious. It's on Adult Swim. It's like 11 minutes long. He does the craziest shit. It's all usually hidden camera or prank or and it's just a lot of it's out there, like really weird shit. But I highly would recommend it. Checking it out if you haven't seen it already. And like I said, they're only 11 minutes long.
Check out something that's 11 minutes long. That's cool.
Yeah. So in this movie, he sees this girl that he knew from high school that he said he would always ask out on a date if he saw her again. And then she goes to New York and he follows her and he goes on a road trip with his friend. And so hijinks ensue, such as, the Chinese finger trap, which I thought,
man, that's fucking hilarious. Dude.
You know that reaction in the movie was real, right? That guy that came out of the shop.
Oh yeah.
No, they thought they were Lil Ray Howard. Is Lil Ray Howard? I forget his last name. Lil Ray, the other guy is not Eric Andre. That was his first day shooting. And so that was the first thing they did. And he went in, he was gonna quit right there because he thought he was gonna die. But apparently they went up to the guy afterwards, because they have bodyguards, security, and everything. Right. And as soon as they explained what it was, the owner was like, "Oh, that's cool, man! You guys, awesome."
yeah.
After he runs after him with a knife,
Well, yeah. Well, I like that. Well,
you like the gorilla scene?
The gorilla scene was awesome. Yeah, I was gonna talk about when they talked to the people at the end of the movie. When they let them know that it was.
Oh yeah,
they were actually shooting a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like those. I like when they finally tell them and they're like, "Holy shit!"
I'm assuming this isn't something you watched with your daughter.
Oh hell no!
No.
Oh hell no!
Okay.
Oh my God, hell no.
There's too much gorilla cum.
Oh my God, that's fucking hilarious. Fucking hilarious. You know what though? I mean, can't you tell the difference between a real gorilla and a fake one? I mean,
No.
I mean, if you were there watching, if you were happened to be in that group that they were with, don't you think he would have caught on? I mean, because he was in there with the gorilla for a long time, and you know,
he goes back in for the selfie.
Jesus Christ.
No, that was Lil Ray said that was the most difficult scene for him because he was outside the cage and he had to sell it to the people who are outside the cage.
Okay.
So he's crying, but in reality, he's crying because he's laughing so much.
Hard.
But, but he had to sell it to the people like, oh my God, my friend's in there. Ah!
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, you should be able to tell the difference between a guy in a gorilla suit. And
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's very funny, Jeremy. You need to watch it. Maybe we can discuss a little more next week if you maybe can knock it out one of these days. It's like an hour and a half.
You'll get some laughs out of it. It's pretty funny. It's so ridiculous. It's funny.
Yeah. All right. So hey, this is our knockout show, right? We're gonna knock out some shit, man.
We're gonna knock out
some.
Sure.
Should we just go down the list, or does anyone want to start with anything in particular? Anything more important to anyone in particular? No.
Nah.
No.
All right. So let's see. Walmart returns and customer service. That was something I put on like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, it's been on there a while, man.
All right. So listen, this is what this is about. I don't know if you guys know. I worked at Walmart twice. Okay. Walmart's famous for basically taking anything back, basically, as long as it's not in horrible condition. If you have a receipt, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I bought these wiper blades for my wife's car. They did not fit. Like for some reason, I know they're the right kind, but they wouldn't stay on the wipers. So I go to return them, and this is when I have my arm in the sling, so I only have one arm. I didn't put the wipers back in the plastic sheathing that they came in because my wife took them off and put them in the bag with the packaging, but it was, they were outside the packaging. It was a little messy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had the receipt. I go up to the lady at the counter. I go, yeah, I initiated this return. And it's this like lady in her 60s or 70s. I never met her before. And she starts giving me this fucking attitude. She's like, I've never had anyone return anything like this before. And I'm like, I've never had anyone be as rude as you are being to me right now. I said, you're supposed to be taking this return back. You see that it's just purchased within the past few days. I'm only operating with one arm. This is what I have. The products are in there. You're going to defect them out anyway. Just go ahead and take the return back. And so eventually, after the bitch was being a bitch, she actually looked at, what was it, my mask or something, or my license? I don't know. She saw something and she reacted to it, and so she started like making friendly chit chat. But I never had that kind of experience. Like, I hate Walmart in general, but like I said, at the customer service counter, it's usually pretty straightforward. They take shit back, or if in rare cases they reject it.
They're usually pretty not happy to be there, though. I mean, that's not uncommon.
Right.
Yeah, I know. Right. I've never had to say that to someone before. It literally to their face, like that they were the worst customer service I've ever received. So that was just a funny experience.
Customer service is a rough gig, man. I was in customer service for a lot of years, man, and it got to the point where, I knew what my job was, but as soon as somebody walked in the store, they were my mortal enemy. I was like, I did not want to see people walk through that door, and when you get to that point, it's time to go. And I did, but customer service, man, it's not for everybody, man. I'll tell you, it's, you put the people that at the age that they're supposed to have a shitty job, but they don't know how to handle customer service. So what you're getting is a lower paid, pissed off person because they're not satisfied with their job.
And I did customer service for a very long time. And Jeremy, were you there the night at the movie theater when me and Thompson had a little blow up?
When he said, what was the quote? Oh, I'm so fat because your mom cooked so good, to the little hoodlum as they were running away.
Oh, no, that
little
that's
hoodlum made it. Our GM was overweight. He was an ex-wrestler. He was a big guy. And we were kicking out these teenagers, and they're getting all loud, and he's he's not having any of it. And this one kid, as he's running out, makes a joke about him being fat. And his reply was, "I'm only so fat because your mom won't stop cooking so well."
Yeah.
I about died laughing. The kid didn't know what to say. His buddy started busting on him. It was awesome.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Yeah, he was probably one of my favorite bosses, if not my favorite boss. I've told my current boss that. I said, listen, you got a high bar to live up to, you know. Leaving that job sucked for me because I could only go so far. Like Jeremy took this, you know, a salaried spot, but salary then was what, 23 grand, something like that. You know, it's just, it's not a lot.
It was $12.50 an hour.
Yes, I mean you're trying to live off that. Yeah, it's a decade or more ago, but still it's tough. And so but there was one night, and this is where I differ. You know, we worked at a movie theater. It was a smaller movie theater, not as it's a chain, but it wasn't as big as, you know, AMC's and Regals and whatnot. Yeah. So these people come out, this 4 middle-aged people. I was in my 20s, so they're probably in their 40s or 50s or something like that. They come out of this movie.
Ancient.
Yeah.
And they're you know, I can tell they're a little upper class kind of thing, you know what I mean? Maybe a little rich, I don't know. And so they come up to me and they're like, yeah, we didn't like that movie. We would like a refund. And I said, I'm sorry, that's not how that works. You know, taste is, you know, different for everyone. You're not going to like every movie. That's not how that works. And so they basically started, you know, screaming at me, berating me, and I was holding my ground. I wasn't going to give them a refund just because they didn't like a movie. I've seen plenty of movies I didn't like. I didn't ask for a refund. But my GM was there, and he basically made me go in the office and told me to calm down, and we had to talk after that. You know, basically he wanted their business and them to be repeat customers more than just not refunding their $8 or whatever it was for the 4, you know, for the 4 of them, $32. I didn't agree with that. So, you know, but like I said, it's just different situations.
So he said he agreed that they should have got their money back.
Yeah, and he gave it to him. Like because, like I said, it was a smaller movie theater. We were all about trying to make sure people came there rather than went to the bigger chains.
Sure.
So yeah.
Well, except for the little bastard teenagers, we kick them out all the time.
Little hooligans.
Yeah, they didn't care about them. Like they weren't gonna have any kind of a
little scams.
But
there was a couple kids who we knew by name because we kicked them out every week. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I would
beat the shit out of my kids if they got kicked out of a theater.
I mean, they pay money to go in to see a movie and then they get themselves kicked out. I mean,
every week, running around, talking in the movies.
So they're
every week,
pretty bright kids.
Yeah.
Well, then, you know, every once in a while you get a parent coming back. Why'd you kick my Johnny out? Because he's an asshole.
Because Johnny's an asshole.
You're not allowed to say that though.
You're throwing popcorn at people. You can't do that. What kind of shit did they do though? Just out of curiosity.
Yelling, getting up and down.
Okay. Just disturbing the shit out of people. Yeah, I get you.
Talking, yelling, throwing things. You know,
you know what you need to do? You need shit like that. You need to plant a guy in there who just beats the living shit out of them. Did you?
Oh, no. Yeah. No, we'd have to kick him out.
We had one
guy. We had one guy named Mark who loved to kick people out of movies.
Yeah.
That was his thing. And he was, you know, he's a bigger guy, but that's what he loved to do, was to kick people out of movies.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow.
That, and we had the cops go in if we really needed them.
I wonder what's that guy doing now?
Last I saw him, he was working at Sears, so he's probably not there anymore.
He's throwing people out of the tool department. Yeah. Drop that fucking drill, asshole.
Oh man. All right.
But customer service, we were good too. Like I remember one night we're sitting there, and never fails that, you know, the 10:30 showing of the new horror movie, there's some young parents showing up with like a 2-year-old to watch this damn movie. And obviously that's not going to go well.
No.
And, you know, if you see the mom bring the 2-year-old out because they're crying, hey, you know what? How many people are in your party? Oh, there's 4 of us. My husband's still watching the movie. Okay. Just stay right here for me. And, you know, I'd go get their money back and give them passes to come back. Because, hey, thank you for bringing the kid out because they were making noise. I mean, I appreciate it. Let me give you something to help. You know.
Exactly.
But it's got to go both ways. But
you know something about going both ways.
I was gonna say just like Mike, but I was
just like Mike.
You let it
Anyway,
slip.
moving on. I paused. I should have just said it.
Next one. Like I said, these are all little things, so they don't have to be lengthy conversations. Natural deodorant. Have you guys ever tried this so-called natural deodorant, like
No.
aluminum-free?
No,
Like,
I will not.
Did
I
you
saw
buy
some-
it just because Howard Stern told you to?
Oh my
No,
God. Howard Stern uses it?
No, oh no, he does actually. He uses something I think Crystal Rock or something like that. So I might actually look into that. He claims it works for him. I tried something that online. It was called
Has
Doctor.
Howard Stern ever sweated in his life? where he needs deodorant anyway? I mean, he goes. I'm sure that studio is ice cold. You know, they go in there. Come on, he doesn't even need deodorant, for God's sakes. Of course, it's going to work.
Well, he's at home now, so. Oh,
he doesn't even go into the studio.
He doesn't even go in anymore.
No, they haven't gone in since last March.
Oh, really? Wow.
They all do it from home, huh?
Yeah,
nice.
they all. I think they do Zoom.
Is their connection better than ours?
Yeah, it's fucking
better than yours.
Anything's better than yours. Oh my God, fucking AT&T, like it's the worst. So it's called Dr. Squatch. Okay, like a Sasquatch is their logo, whatnot.
Sure.
So it guarantees that this is gonna work, whatever, blah blah blah. I'm like, all right, let me buy a stick because if aluminum is gonna cause me a problem down the road, whatever, I'd rather not use it. So I get it. I use it for 2 or 3 days, and actually it seems to be working the first day or two, right? And I think we did a show, and it was in here, and for some reason I don't have great airflow in this room, like the fans off and shit. And so I just remember like I started stinking like up something fierce, and I'm like, this fucking deodorant sucks ass. Yeah. And so I swear I thought it had like a money back guarantee, like. And I emailed them, on their website, never heard back. It was like, what, $20, whatever, but still.
It's $20?
Yeah, whatever.
Holy shit.
They charge a fucking crazy amount of money for that kind of shit. So.
Oh, yeah. Holy shit. That's ridiculous.
Dealing with hippies.
Yeah.
I use aerosol, and I don't care. Come at me with the ozone and shit. I even go outside and spray a couple squirts up in the air, but come on. Right guard, man. It's good. I'm good. I'm good for 24. I swear to God, that shit works. If I squirt it tonight, I could wear it until I come home tomorrow. No problem.
You squirt it tonight, you can wear it.
That's not what the people around you are saying.
No. I smell beautiful. I smell like Irish Spring, Right Guard in my cologne. It's like I smell like a whore when I walk out here.
I can just see Vinnie spraying Axe all over him every morning before.
No Axe. I don't use that shit.
I have like some of that shit for some reason. Like it's come in. I don't know if I got it free or if it came as like a sample with something. I've never used it, so I don't know like what the body spray is about. Is it like a refresher or I don't understand it.
You just spray it. It's like a whole body deodorant. You can use it under your pits too.
He doesn't have any, but he's the expert on it. It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't have any. I don't use it. I read cans. I can read cans. I can shop. I can shop.
And so, all right, moving on. I don't want to bag on her too much because, as we discussed in a previous episode, she's like the love of my life. But Jennifer Love Hewitt, I don't know what's happened to her.
I just looked her up today because you were
aging
in love with her.
Yeah,
well, she doesn't look that bad. What are you talking?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't look horrible. It's just when I saw her on like her Facebook snaps or lens or whatever the fuck they call it on Facebook, she looked a lot different. It wasn't just like makeup free or anything like that. She looked like a different person to me. You know what I mean? And so that makes me think, have they had work done? I'm not a big fan of plastic surgery unless it's like required. You know what I mean? I don't like that look, that kind of look.
I mean, all the pictures I pulled up of her, and I was trying to pull up the most recent shit. I even put it in there, recent, pictures or whatever, images, and then I didn't see anything that was horrible.
Oh, I guess that's just me. I don't know. I sent you guys those pictures. It just didn't. I know Saint. I
don't know where you got those pictures at. I didn't even see those.
I put them in the Facebook chat, but no.
No, I know that, but I saw what you were talking about. But I'm saying what I looked up, I didn't even see those pictures in there. So
Oh, it was a while. It was a while ago. So,
yeah.
but she was actually in the news today. I read something that she just watched the Framing Britney Spears New York Times thing on Hulu or whatnot, and she said that she wished that she would have known or thought back in the day that she could have stood up to reporters who questioned her about her breasts or whatnot. I guess at one point after excuse me, guys. After I Know What You Did Last Summer, she would wear like a shirt that said silicone free because I guess these reporters, and I've as a reporter, I've never been a reporter, but as an interviewer or anything like that, I've never asked anyone about their breasts, even the cosplayers we've had on. So, I mean,
Really?
I can't imagine like what these kind of creeps are doing, and I'm a pretty creepy guy myself, but I don't do that to someone's face. So like the fact that she had these kind of experiences and, wishes that she would have been able to stand up to him back in the day. Knowing what she knows now.
I'm the most inappropriate person I know, and I wouldn't even, go that far as to ask, if your breasts are real or not.
I remember that being a topic of conversation on many talk show-ish type show about Britney Spears at the time. So I'm assuming it would have been about Jennifer Love Hewitt as well.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a difference between, like, say they talk about it on Howard or something like that, as opposed to because in the article I read, it seemed to be more like reporters or interviewers. You know what I mean? It's not like necessarily.
It was a question they were getting asked. It was not.
That's just crazy.
And it wasn't seen as, it wasn't. Well, they framed it as, well, are you setting a bad example for teen girls by being 16 and having had a boob job? So that is how they made the story, but they were still just asking the damn question.
Yeah. Well, in that context, it doesn't seem that bad. I mean, seriously. I mean, if you put it in that type of context, yeah. I mean, it's like, if you're doing it, does that set a bad example for younger people? Yeah. So,
but that's not why they were. That's just how they were getting there.
Yeah, you gotta be the guy to be like, oh, hey, can I do the touch test to see if it's real or not?
The touch test, yeah, there you go.
All right, moving on. I like we're just knocking all these out. We're gonna have a whole new list next week.
We did 3.
Yeah,
we
should better than some weeks.
There's like 65.
There's not 65. We
right.
actually should take another break because every 30 minutes we take a break. And guess what? I got Heather to say that she might be able to help try to write some of these proposals since you motherfuckers aren't helping me with anything for Podcorn. Podcorn to get some sponsors for the show.
What's it called?
He hasn't watched the Mike EP episode yet. He doesn't know what you're talking about.
Podcorn.com.
Oh, I'll go back. I saw you guys chatting about it on Messenger.
Yeah, basically there's different sponsors basically willing to give us money, and it's only a little bit here and there. I think it's between $10 and $40 per ad, but I mean, if I get $40 for basically reading an ad, basically you have to send them the proposal about why they should come to your show. You have to send them like some of the numbers from Anchor, which and that's another thing we should celebrate.
I asked myself, why do I come to the show?
Pays for some t-shirts if nothing else.
Yeah, there you go.
See, listen, I mean, we've made according to Anchor, we've made like $5 from their ad. $6.49 right now.
Don't go spending it all in one place.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we got a lot more. Downloads actually. The other day I looked at it, we were over 500, so I was really excited about that. We're actually at 6. We're at 630 now.
What type of viewership do we have to get sponsorship, or does that even matter?
That's kind of up to the sponsor.
It's up to the sponsor.
If you say you have 630 downloads, you have about, according to this, 128 unique listeners, an estimated audience of 73. But we frame it as, hey, we shoot the shit, we have fun. Yeah. This is what our audience is. And if we find the right sponsor, then who knows? So
right.
So that's kind of what we're looking at.
I guess we got to start hitting up like condom companies.
I was thinking Viagra, Rogaine, Metamucil, and that's pretty much who we're going to get.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, Mike, happy birthday.
Oh,
happy birthday.
Thanks.
I already told you happy birthday. I'm not fucking doing it again.
You said it on Facebook. Everyone can say it on the show. Hey.
Oh, okay. Hey, happy birthday. Okay. When was it? It was the other day, right?
Yeah,
It
2
was
days ago.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, we had I still haven't had a negative COVID test. So
Oh, so you didn't get to do anything because you're quarantined, right?
so according to the CDC and according to every health professional I talked to, and of course we don't know for sure, but they claim after 10 days from when symptoms started, you should not be contagious anymore. So I asked my parents, who are both double vaccinated now, I said, would you guys want to come over? And I said, this is up to you. I said, you can sit outside and we'll talk through the door, or you can come in and I'll stay away from you. I said, theoretically, I shouldn't be contagious right now. Most of my symptoms are pretty gone. I said, but I don't want to put you guys at risk.
Right.
So they decided they miss me. They haven't seen me for these periods of times where we have to quarantine. It sucks. So even though they're 2 houses down, yeah, they miss
you. What do you owe them money?
People actually love me, Jeremy. Thank you. I do owe them money, actually.
That's a low blow. Knowing my family, that's a low blow.
Mike, we have to come over. We have to see you.
Basically, my mom cried when she left here because she was so happy to be able to see me. So,
because she spent time with you, one or the other.
That's nice.
Oh, we had some hurricane grill. We had some ice cream cake from a local place, Smiley Riley's, which I love to get ice cream cake from. Of course, my parents, being my parents, put the cake in the cooler. Went to go pick up the hurricane grill, thinking the cake in the cooler, the ice cream cake, would stay.
Yeah,
because the ice cream place told them, "Hey, put it out for 10 minutes." My dad and mom thinking that it's in the cooler, it's fine. That gets to the house, we eat our dinner. By the time we eat our dinner, what's that? It's probably 30, 40 minutes.
Oh, it's in the cooler the whole time?
No, they brought it in and put it on the stove. But then when Heather and Sophie get it out, basically it's like bleh.
It's like soup.
Yeah.
Here's your birthday soup.
But it was
ice cream soup.
It was still really good, so it was fun.
Oh, by the way, for any listeners, if you'd like to send Mike a gift, just email me and I'll make sure it gets to him. I promise.
Yes, yeah. Any cash or money that needs to be sent in has to go through us first, because we do the books.
No, see, we need to get Fleshlight as a sponsor. So
Fleshlight.
Yes, we discussed this, Vinnie. Remember?
Fucking Fleshlight again. Yeah.
Moving on.
Jeremy, did you throw yours away?
I think we did. Yeah.
You didn't give it to Jeff?
Sure we did. No.
Did you ever use it?
No.
You never used it? Are you kidding me?
Wait, what was that? What was it again? What was it? What did it do?
We're moving on. Next topic.
Right. Tell me one more time.
Actually,
real quick.
We need to take a break. Moving
Just
along.
like 3 words.
Imagine a flashlight that doesn't have a light at the end. Instead, it has a faux vagina.
Oh, okay, thank you. All right, gotcha. All right, Fleshlight.
I bought it for Jeremy as a birthday present one time or something.
Are you shitting?
Thought we were taking a break.
Where can we get?
We are, but we love the topic.
I have to get that.
Vinny's Googling right now.
I need to get one of those for research purposes.
Vinny, you need to get a real doll and put that in your background.
Oh, Jesus.
You know what a real doll
is? Behind me?
Yeah. That's crazy. All right. Yeah, we'll take a quick break. You've been listening to Usual Saints. We'll be right back.
Fleshlight.
I think I stopped recording before he said,
"Damn it."
He's like typing.
A little quick on the button, Mike.
I know. All right. Well, welcome back to Usual Saints. I'm Mike D here with Jeremy and Vinny.
Fleshlight.
For now.
Saint's still out at the Bering Sea. Let's see. We don't, we can go as long as we want to go. I know Vinny got tired last time we did one of these shows. I think it was 11.
But
Vinny's like, I'm old. I need to take a break.
Oh, that's bullshit. I had to work the next day, you fuckers. You got to get up at 4 a.m. I can go all night tonight. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I'm good.
All right. Jeremy, what about you?
I got to get up, but not early.
Okay, good. All right. So my next one was
oil change.
I was done. I was done with you and your fucking whatever your minutia is.
Minutia.
You said your parents missed you, huh?
Yeah, they did.
I told you he owes them money.
Making sure he still hasn't.
That's why they want to see
he's still in town.
Mike, we gotta see you.
I want to know, like, I want to know who listens to the show. You know what I mean? And like, I don't mean that in like a way like who the fuck are our listeners? Like, I asked my parents. My dad listened to a few, and then he kind of faded out. I feel like my uncle claimed he listens, but I don't think he does. So like these people like on our fan page and our Facebook group, like I want to know. Like I think your nephew listens, which is cool. But like I wish we could get more callers. You know what I mean? Do the phone number 240-724-6877. You guys can call in.
Email might work.
Yeah, email.
Email. Yeah, I mean, I would love to get to know who actually listens to our show, because that's always interesting. I would ideally, obviously, if we could set up some kind of system where we could interact with callers, that would be the ideal system.
Yeah.
I hope we can figure that out one day. It's just I had a conversation with Heather the other day about taxes for the business, because I didn't have to, but I formed an LLC for this and for everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I probably didn't have to, but whatever, I'm spending money, so I guess that's a way to recoup what I'm spending on the computer and everything like that.
Well, absolutely, it's a smart thing.
Yeah, so I only did it because Saint mentioned it before we started doing the shows again.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an email. I signed up through LegalZoom. I got an email from 1-800-ACCOUNTANT the other day, trying to sell me on their services. And I honestly think I do need some help with some tax forms, and maybe make sure I get, even though I'm a sole proprietor, so I really just throw it in my taxes. So it's really not that difficult, but I did mess up my taxes. So I'm still waiting on getting that. It's a whole thing.
Well, throw it out there to the fans. Any CPAs out there can help Mike out, give us a call.
I told you I reached out to that one, and because we were talking about taxes, and she never responded. I think I emailed her and she's a local tax person, and I'm like, hey, we wanted to talk to someone on our podcast about taxes. No response.
They didn't want to give away free advice.
Exactly.
But I mean, but it's advertising for them. They're a guest, you know what I mean? So
sure.
I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, 1-800-ACCOUNT was trying to sell me on their services. They want $1,800 for the year, basically.
Nope, move on. Nope.
Basically
nope.
for
no.
But listen, that's totally deductible.
Yeah.
That $1,800 is deductible.
It's not. No, that's not.
You know what? It's coming out of your pocket anyway. I don't care if it's deductible or not. $1,800, blow me. Okay.
Well, I talked to Heather about it, because I told the guy, I'm like, I got to talk to my wife about it. And Heather's like, listen, when you start making $1,800 in revenue, then you can think about it.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe then. But
there you go. There's the smart one in the relationship.
Yeah. There you go.
So the guy, I thought he would call me back today, but he didn't. So I'm expecting him to call me back tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to turn him down. I hate when they do that sales pitch, and I'm not just the tax thing, but I mean anything, like where you're on the phone with them, and I guess it probably happens at car dealerships and shit like that, where you're in a conversation with them, and then they're like, "All right, so he this is what he does to me. He says, okay, so which card should we use to get that initial investment started?" I'm like, motherfucker, I'm just
say yes.
This is a consultation.
Yeah, did you hear yes come out of my fucking mouth? No.
So that's kind of what I did. And listen, he was nice enough. He gave me some good information that I could possibly use.
They try to smooth talk you right into it. Hey, it's their job. I get it, but it's still kind of sleazy.
I could never work in sales. I've worked in customer service forever, but sales, I could never. I don't agree with that. I don't know. I don't think that's a communist way of looking at things, but I'm the person who wants to just go, know what I want, get it
and go.
You know what I mean? Unless, cars are a little different, but cars salesmen, I hate them. They've always been sleazy. Too.
I told you the time I worked at the car dealership for one day. I worked at a car dealership for one day, and I walked in, and I guess I was going through some orientation or whatever, and then I sat down at a desk. They handed me a giant list of phone numbers and said, go ahead and call these people and do follow-ups. These are people that have come in or have inquired about buying a car. I said, okay, no problem. So I get on there and I start making a phone call. Probably the 10th phone call I get in. I said, hey, how you doing? This is Vinnie from, blah, 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 whatever. I gave him a spiel. And I asked him, it says here that you were in not long ago and you were interested in the car. We were wondering if you're still interested and if there's anything we do to help you out. And he fucking went off on me. He said, you are the sixth fucking guy who's called me in the past 5 days about buying a fucking car. And right then and there, I realized I had become the person that I hate the most. that person that calls you and tries to say something over the phone. And I was like, you know what? I said, you know what, sir? I apologize. I said, I had no idea that you had been harassed like that, because that's basically what it is. So I said, I apologize. And I said, you'll never hear from me again. That's for sure. I hung up the phone. I went to lunch, never went back. See ya. You guys fucking bother the people for buying a car. Nah, that was such bullshit. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I became a telemarketer for car sales. And, you know, this guy had been called a half dozen times already. So, yeah, I hate car salesmen.
I think Jeremy has to call an ambulance. I think one of his kids just fell down the stairs.
Yeah, I think he's all right.
Yeah. They're running around. That's cool.
Yeah. What you
Yeah,
Jeremy, Jeremy's too responsible. I don't think Jeremy's ever quit a job without giving a formal 2-week notice letter.
That's not true. I quit the movie theater without giving a notice.
Oh yeah,
I handed my keys to her and said, "See, I'm out."
You bastard. You bastard.
She was a bitch.
He had a boss problem. Yeah, he had a boss
problem. Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
All right. So moving on, I wanted to talk about just a short conversation: self-checkout versus cashier checkout. I wanted to bring this up because my dad is very, very, very anti self-checkout. He believes that you're taking a job from someone. He believes that, that's anti-America, that kind of stuff. I love a self-checkout. I don't have to talk to anyone, especially with COVID. No one's touching my shit. I just run it over the scanner. I'm like, boop, 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 done, and I leave. It's not controversial or anything, but what do you guys think about that issue?
Well, I like it sometimes. It depends on how much shit I get. If I'm just going in for a few things, one of those little, short bus baskets, I bring it, just got 10 items or so, I'll go through self-checkout. But if I got a bunch of shit, especially produce, we got to weigh it and fucking punch in how many you got. And, it's not rocket science, but, I'd rather somebody else do it and bag it up for me and all that kind of stuff. If I got a lot of shit, no, I don't like it. If I have very little stuff, yeah, it's fine. I don't feel like I'm taking somebody's job, though. I disagree. Your job's your dad's kind of, gung ho on the, taking jobs from people's stuff. But yeah, I don't think I'm taking the job from the company who's putting self-serve shit in there.
Well, that's what he said. That's basically what his thing is. Basically, if you use the self-checkout, you're encouraging them to either put more or other companies to use it. And so that's taking the job from, that's what he means. Not that if he uses it, by using it, he's enabling, he doesn't want to do that. So.
Gotcha.
But anyway,
usually, a union member, which I'm sure both your parents are in a union, has that approach to self-checkout. Hey, you're taking a job from someone who now doesn't have to do it. Yeah, someone else has a job putting these machines in, but they do it once. Whereas just if you're not using that, same thing with, I don't know, Vinnie, I'm sure you're familiar with Publix from when you lived down here.
Yeah, sure. I have them up here too. Yeah.
Used to be you weren't allowed to take your groceries out of the store.
Exactly.
Now maybe they asked to take them out 1 out of every 3 times.
Yeah. Right.
And again, every time they ask, I say yes, even if I'm parked right up front. Yep. Because guess what? They aren't going to keep bringing you into work if you're not bagging my groceries and taking my groceries out. If they don't need you, they're not going to keep bringing you in. Same with cashiers. If everyone uses self-checkout, which Publix has started putting those in as well.
Oh, they have.
If everyone starts using self-checkout, they don't need as many cashiers. So it's someone's job.
This is true. Yeah, I didn't know that Publix had started bringing them in, because the ones I go up here don't have them.
I know of at least 2 locally. I don't know if there's any in Vero. There's one in Fort Pierce, and then there's one right by my house.
Okay.
They both
so
have
that's
self-checkout now.
So that's something that's yet to come for Publix. Okay.
Yeah.
Wasn't aware of that.
There's one beachside in Vero for the rich people. So I think that's the only one in Vero.
You mean rich people?
As they retrofit
check out their own shit?
No, their butlers and nannies are buying the food and checking it out that way to bring back home.
Yeah, no shit.
I understand. I agree. I agree with what you guys have said. At the same time, I'm still not going to stop using a self-checkout. I've never been a union member. Like, obviously, Jeremy, you're in a union. Vinnie, were you in a union up in?
Yeah, I was in the union at WSB. That was a union shop. So.
So I mean, like, do you guys find Jeremy? Obviously, you're still in it. Do you guys find that it's beneficial? Like, does the costs outweigh the benefits, or vice versa? Or
for some things,
Florida's a right to work state,
right?
So it's not a closed shop, so people can have my job and not be in the union.
Mm-hmm.
They still get all the benefits, more or less, of being in the union without paying the dues. So that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But it's kind of nice to have someone there to, I don't have to worry about renegotiating my own contract or being underpaid compared to the guy next to me doing the same job, because we're all going to get paid the same doing the same job as part of the union. And it's nice to have, somebody there to, hey, if they want to discipline me for something, I have the right to have my union rep in the room with me.
Exactly.
There's somebody there at least they're listening as a third party.
Right.
If they're not on my side, which they would probably be on my side. But a lot of people, if you're just the only guy, if you're not in the union and they want to bring you in to have you sign a write-up or something, you're in the room with a couple guys who obviously are there to discipline you, and you got nobody else in the room on your side. So it's a little weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna skip the drum acquittal because as
it's like
as
6
someone
months
pointed
ago,
out.
Jesus.
I mean,
Moving
listen, but it was bullshit. Just quick, let's just touch on it real quick. Just real quick. Like, listen, if you're supposed to act as a juror in a fucking trial, whether it's for a murder case or for the president of the United States, which senators act as jurors in that trial, to be reading books, to be reading magazines, to be actively making yourself look like, or to actively do and not pay any attention, that's a really shitty thing. I don't care what party you are. Your job is to be a juror in that trial. And so fuck those Republicans, because it was Republicans.
Let's be honest. That wasn't a trial. Everyone knew who was going to vote which way before they even started.
That was just a show.
It was a show, and they were just dragging it out to drag it out and smear the name more.
Yeah.
It was a waste of time and money at that point. Everyone knew which way it was going to go and what was going to happen. It was a waste of time and money.
Yeah.
But I think it had to happen because
it was just
already
a shit
started.
show. That's all it was.
Yeah.
Hey, do we got any topics that we didn't talk about when we were at CSB? Maybe we could talk about those now.
I'm sure we could think of something, Vinny. You got anything offhand?
Let's go more current. What about the Oakland low income universal or poverty families universal income for 600 families? I think the test is for. It's $500 a month.
Right.
But you cannot be white.
Wow. I'm out.
Mike, what do you got?
I researched it. So
Mike, you're an Eskimo, aren't you? So you're not white. So you can get it.
I'm Irish and German, motherfucker.
Oh, okay.
No, I researched it. So I know Jeremy was gung-ho about putting it on the list. Listen, it says it's funded by a private company. Oakland has a past history with like the Black Panther Party and things like that. So if a private company wants to fund a program where minorities or non-whites are getting this $500 stipend, because that's what it is. It's not the city is I guess maybe making it known or whatnot, but the city is not the one who is providing the funding. It's a private program. And so that just goes back to, what rights does a private business have? I mean, this private business or this private program, they have the right to give the money to whoever they choose to. And in this case, yeah, you're right. It's these people who you said are impoverished families, but they can't be white.
So this company has the right to discriminate by race, but the company that didn't want to bake a cake for a gay couple lost the case for $2 million.
But it's not.
You can't have it both ways.
I don't think it's.
They didn't want to provide a service. These people are actively saying you can't be white if we're going to help you.
I think
How is that okay?
I'm not saying it's okay. What I'm saying is I think that it's more complicated than the fucking gay baker thing. It's the fact that
it's not.
It is. Listen, it's the fact that they're trying to help a certain section of the population, which are typically underfunded, I guess, but I don't know the percentage of white families out there that are impoverished. I don't know that. I didn't see that,
but they are there. So why wouldn't they be worthy of help as well? just because they're white.
I don't know that it's not worthy. Again, I think it speaks to the fact that this private foundation wants to fund a certain segment of people. And I can't speak to why that is. I can only go off what I read.
So if there was another corporation that came out and said, hey, we want to give some money to families that are poor, but they can't be black, do you think it'd be flying right now?
You know that shit wouldn't fly.
To me, that's the smell test. If you put a race into a statement, and if you want to change the race, and all of a sudden it becomes you're a racist because you changed it from white to black, or white to Hispanic, or black to Hispanic, whatever, or Asian, it's racist. No matter what, it's racist. And the fact that it's not being called out as that, and they're not being raked over the coals, bothers me, because why is it okay to be racist against a white person or sexist against a man? It's not okay no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Racism doesn't say, hey, it's only against people who aren't white. Sexism, oh, it's okay if it's against a man. That's not how that works, and not how it should work. No. That bothers me for many reasons, but it's just bullshit that you're saying it's okay to be racist because it's against white people, or sexist because it's against them. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't get that soapbox and give it to Vinnie. He's about to talk.
Yeah, I don't think any arms.
Sorry that I ranted for once, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good rant too. It's great. I like the part, especially when you talked about cake, because now I want cake. So, you know what I'm saying? I want fucking cake now. Come on. I don't care if a gay guy cooks it. I'll take it. Anyway,
that's not what it was. You know what it was, Vinnie, right?
I know what it was. Jesus Christ. But,
like a gay guy cooking a cake. That sounds like we're back in the 80s.
Doesn't matter.
The AIDS hysteria or something. You know, like that's crazy.
But what I was going to say is nobody's really going to raise a flag against people talking about the whites not having something. Especially the minorities who are receiving whatever it is, the $500 or whatever. They're certainly not going to be up in arms about, something racist against white people.
But they should be.
Yeah, you're probably right. But there's a lot of white people who, you got that white guilt out there that, okay, you're taking something from us, but we've taken so much from other people that maybe it's not such a big deal, but I understand what you're saying. Yes. A race is a race. And if it's something against a particular race, it doesn't matter what they are. It's still racist. But
like I said,
it's just not going to be very popular with minorities to, be up in arms about white people having something taken from them.
So for me, it's, it's across the board though. You can't, Black Lives Matter. Sure. But you can't get mad if someone says white lives matter then, because why not? If it's okay. If it's okay to say one, it's okay to say the other.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't imagine there being a white entertainment television, but black entertainment television is just fine. Yeah. Black Miss America is fine. I'm sure there's some racist group out there that hosts a white Miss America, but it's a racist group because they're hosting white Miss America. I mean,
you're right. Yeah.
It's the double standard about race bothers me.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's that white guilt thing. There's a lot of it, and a lot of people have it, and they're not going to say anything about white people being slighted by in any way. To stand up and say, well, how come we're not getting this? And then thinking about how the minorities feel about our privilege. Our privileged lives. Not to say that we're all privileged. We got a lot of shit going on with white people too. But
obviously, the only people that would have been involved in this is if they met the poverty requirements.
Yeah,
if they meet the poverty requirements, then hell, they deserve the help.
Right.
I think they said, I don't know if it was the entire population of the area that they were looking at or just the impoverished population. It's only like 8% white, but then 8% of the people in the study could be white families getting some.
Yeah, it should be anybody under that impoverished line. Yeah, should get it, whether they're white or not. Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
I think Mike's getting uncomfortable. We're having this talk now.
He is.
I disagree with your whole white lives matter bullshit, because black people.
Your whole white lives matters bullshit.
No, it's true. Listen, everyone's life should matter. Yes, but the fact is that for over 400 or 500 years, Black people have been downtrodden and systematically like just fucked over and raked over the coals. And so
I don't disagree with that at all.
No, like a white person saying white lives matter. Yeah, that is fucking a shitty thing to say, because basically you're saying black people have it so much worse in this country because of the racist, because of our history. There's such a disproportionate like arrests or deaths, like obviously George Floyd, right? Sorry.
Floyd,
yeah, I forget his name. And then what's the other guy? Jacob Blake. I mean, there's so many, it's just so disproportionate. And people, you know, a lot of people like to point out, oh, well, those are the people who are committing the crimes. I don't think that's the case, man. Because like we can go to the fact of like the Atlanta Publix gun guy or the mass shooter in Atlanta that we talked about. That motherfucker was arrested without getting killed. You know what I mean? But you know, a black guy maybe robs a pharmacy, or George Floyd, a $20 counterfeit bill, gets choked out and killed by a police officer right out front of the shop. So there is something to it, man. Like this country has such racist roots that you know, it's just tough, man.
Well, that's why I said nobody's going to be up in arms about white people, whether they're, you know, impoverished or not, you know, not getting something, because all these other ethnicities and cultures have been just shit on for so long, you know. So who cares if a white guy doesn't get $500, you know, as long as the minorities are.
I'm pretty sure that impoverished guy isn't the one shitting on him.
No, I'm sure, and I agree with it. I agree with that too. But I'm saying, in the public's eye, I don't see a lot of people getting upset about the white people not getting something that, you know, that maybe they think these other people deserve more so than the white people, even though they're, you know, poverty stricken and struggling to make ends meet.
And I don't think the fact that a disproportionate, in your mind, Mike, amount of black people are killed makes it okay that white people matter less, I guess, is where my problem comes with it.
It's not that they matter less. It's the fact that people.
It is though. If you say only one of those statements is okay.
Because white lives matter is a reaction to Black Lives Matter, when Black Lives Matter is something that needs to be said to get it out there, to make people understand that it's not okay to kill a 14-year-old with a fucking cap gun. It's not okay to, you know, to shoot them, you know, the fucking police, you know, and that's the type of thing, you know, or have police, like I said, kill George Floyd over a $20 counterfeit bill, you know, with an illegal chokehold or knee hold or whatever they, you know, did, you know, that's the type of shit, man.
Not just using deadly force when it doesn't need to be used. I mean, you had a guy up here get killed and he was completely naked, and the cop shot him because he felt threatened. What was he being threatened by? You know, the guy's completely naked, he had no weapon on him.
You know what he was threatened by.
I know exactly what he was threatened by. But what I'm saying is, you know, he had an option. You know, he didn't have to use deadly force. He had a taser with him. Yeah. Tase the guy. He's naked.
Was he by himself?
I believe he was. Yeah.
Because if the taser doesn't work and that guy's coming at you, now there's a gun in that fight, and now the guy's on top of you.
Well, okay.
So
I mean, if you tase
it's not as clean. It's not as clean cut as, hey, you have an option. If the taser doesn't work and the guy keeps coming and takes your gun, now you're dead. If you're the only one there, you got no backup.
Yeah, but you have time. If you take out your taser and he's at a safe enough distance and you hit him and he doesn't go down, you got enough time to grab your gun. I mean, if you really think they said, you have to.
If a person's within like 21 feet of you, they can get to you before you can get your gun out.
He was basically just standing. I mean, he wasn't coming at him really. He was just kind of.
I believe that's the statistic, is within 21 feet of you, and they can get to you before you can get your gun out. So how close are you going to let them get before you have to make that decision?
Yeah,
it's hopefully at least
22 feet.
22 feet. Yes.
But I don't know the effective range of a taser. I don't know if it's 45 feet or 50 feet.
Yeah, I don't know how far out you can shoot them from.
There's a lot of backseat quarterback or Monday morning quarterback in some of these decisions, but you're not in that what could be a life and death situation for that officer. I'm not. Yeah. I don't know. George Floyd, there's 4 officers there. Don't know what the hell happened. They were thinking, leaving him on the ground. The people on the sidewalk didn't help, which is what the defense is saying, because, hey, They just added to the, instead of being able to get them up and put them in the car, now they're worried about the crowd reaction. Didn't help at all. But at the same time, hey, sit there and video it. But the interactions were not helping, but he didn't need to be on the ground for 9 minutes. But
yeah.
All right. So we're such a serious show today. We're going to take a little break. That's okay. Sometimes we need to be serious.
I still want cake, though.
You can have some gay cake later.
Oh, come on.
Mike's got some ice cream cake on the counter still.
Yeah.
You can lick it right up.
Yeah, bring a straw and snort it.
Jeremy got like all weird at that. He's like, all right, we're going to take another quick break. You're listening to The Usual Saints. We'll be right back. I'm waiting before I hit stop this time, but no one said anything funny. So
ice cream cake.
You just did. That's great. Thanks.
Cake.
All right. Well, welcome back to The Usual Saints. I'm Mike D here with Jeremy and Vinnie. We're just rolling through our topic list, which have been piling up.
Mowing them down.
Well, we've had so many great interviews. I mean, Zeb Wells, as I told Jeremy before you got here, Vinnie, that's our second most downloaded episode, most listened to episode. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Still, for some reason, the last blockbuster, Grease Controversy and 3 Celebrity Crushes is our number one. I don't know why. I have to imagine it's because it says the last blockbuster, and then that happened to come out on Netflix that same week or the next week.
Yeah, exactly. I saw that. Sure.
That's the only thing I can imagine. But Zeb,
you're welcome.
That was your topic. Zeb should be passing that this week. So I emailed him after the show. I didn't hear back from him. I also sent an Instagram message to Matt Steinrich, co-creator of Robot Chicken and Super Mansion and everything. I didn't hear back from him either, but I thanked him for the funny questions that he gave my cousin. So that we that we surprised Zeb with. So
right. That's good.
All right, so let's do a few more topics. So I put Kate Plays Christine on there because I watched that. I want to talk to you guys about it. Do you guys know who Christine Chubbuck is or was?
Nope.
No.
Okay, so she was the first person she was a reporter over in Sarasota. So she was the first person to kill herself live on TV.
Wow.
She wanted to. This was 1974. 1972.
Wow.
She disagreed with some of the tactics of the station, basically the whole blood and guts and if it bleeds it leads kind of thing. And she was anchoring a show, and she wrote down something and she read it. She said, "Oh, basically in what the direction the station's going, you're about to see something for the first time, an attempted suicide." Done. So this is before videotape. So only one copy of the tape exists. The station owner had it. He died. His wife had it, but people kept asking her about it. She gave it to a lawyer group. I don't know that it will ever see the light of day. If you actually look online, you can see some fake ones. So a few years ago, not that you'd want to, but just so you guys are aware. I've never seen it. Theoretically, it doesn't exist anywhere except for with this legal group. So a few years ago, 2 movies were released about her life. One was not a fictionalized account, but a biographical, I guess.
Biographical, yeah.
It starred Rebecca Hall, who's a pretty famous actress. She was just actually in Godzilla vs. Kong. I don't know if you guys watched that, but I did. So that was more of a story of the story of her life and what happened. And I'm pretty sure it went all the way up to her suicide and whatnot, and what drove her to it. It's a really sad story. She was 29, 30 years old. She was still a virgin. Wow. She was kind of socially awkward. She had some probably undiagnosed mental issues. I think she had depression and things like that. Right. And so there were a lot of issues going on besides the work stuff. But so the fictionalized movie was pretty good. There's another one though that really weirded me out. That's the one I put on the list. Kate Plays Christine. So that one is basically a faux documentary of where you're following around this other actress called Kate. Her name's Kate Lynn Scheel, I think. And she is basically preparing for the role of Christine in this movie that's actually never going to be made. You know what I mean? Right. And so at the end of the documentary, not to spoil, I guess it's not a real documentary, but not to spoil it for you guys, but spoiler alert for any listeners, skip forward 15 seconds or whatever. At the end, she's basically preparing for the gunshot, that she's testing out the gunshot. And they do this weird thing where she points it at the camera, and she basically is scolding us for like wanting to see it or something like that. And so it was really a weird take for me to see that, because I had no idea that was coming. I didn't know that about the movie. And so I don't want to say it, like, I understand what they're saying by saying that we're trying to look at this and we know what's going to happen and that's what we're waiting for. But at the same time, it went in a really odd direction that I felt was kind of tactless, I almost want to say. I don't know. It was just weird. But anyway, that's my whole Christine Chubbuck thing.
So did they? I mean, did she actually commit suicide in the movie? Does this movie exist?
Christine Chubbuck, the actual woman, did commit suicide. She did.
Yes, that I know. But what about the actress?
In Christine, the movie, not Kate plays Christine, but in Christine, yes, they did. That was the fictionalized or whatever, not fictionalized, whatever you want to call it. Right. In the other one, yes, she actually does it, but she's wearing stuff like so, but like I said, she gives the spiel beforehand. It was just weird to me. It was like because people suffer. We've talked several times on this episode already about suicide.
Yeah,
and so people suffer from this. And I don't want to say they were making a mockery out of it. Obviously, they had a point behind what they were trying to do. It was just a really weird angle. You know what I mean?
It's just they're trying to point out how morbid. How morbid the public is, that they actually want to see that happen.
Speaking of morbid, have either one of you ever watched The Faces of Death?
Yeah, a long time ago. Yeah, a long time ago.
Those are all fake. So like that's the thing. Like back when I'm a kid, I think they're all real, but they're not.
There's at least one real death I've seen on video. I remember seeing it back in the day when it actually happened, and then Netflix did a documentary of it, and I was surprised that they showed the actual footage of an evil genius.
Oh yeah, the pizza
guy with the neck bomb.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
The documentary actually shows the footage of the guy's head being blown off.
Yeah.
Do they though? I forget. Yeah. I thought they didn't show it. I thought they like cut past it or something. Okay.
No, they actually show it.
Wow.
I mean, there's not a lot to see. You see an explosion and he falls over. That's about it. You don't see the head go flying or anything. But,
no, because it's disintegrated anyway.
Yeah.
But I was surprised that they showed as much as they did on there. I thought it would cut away right before it happened or whatever.
Yeah.
I was surprised when it didn't. But I remember seeing that when it actually happened back in the day because
society is pretty morbid, man. They want to see that. They want to. I mean, even at the lowest level of morbidity, if that's even a word, you can tell when there's an accident on the side of the road, and all the rubbernecking causes this huge traffic jam. I mean, people are looking to see, what they can see. Looking to see if they can see somebody dead or, see a body or see blood, and everybody thinks that when they drive by. I mean, I do. I mean, I think, oh shit, when they drive by the scene, we're going to see, bodies hanging out or all this kind of shit. And that's what the rubbernecking comes into. And, people, I don't know, people like seeing that shit, it doesn't surprise me, that, movies like that, what you just talked about, Jeremy, with the head blowing off and stuff, that people want to see that, So
George Carlin has a whole routine on what you just talked about, the rubbernecking thing. He's like, oh shit, maybe we'll get to see something. Yeah,
exactly. Drives me nuts, man, because rubbernecking is ridiculous. Because I was driving home from work the other day, and there's not a lot of traffic when I drive home. It takes me 10 minutes to get home. I'm on the highway for maybe 4 of it. But there was a traffic jam as I'm trying to get on the highway, and there were you could see lights ahead. So I knew something had happened, maybe an accident or whatever, and it was backed up. It took me about 15 minutes to get up to what it was. And all it was a cop on the side of the road with his lights on. There was nothing there. There was not a car pulled over. Nothing, just a cop sitting there with his lights on for some godforsaken reason. Maybe he was covering a hole in the emergency lane or something. I don't know. But for 20 fucking minutes. It's like, I get so pissed at people that are just stopping because a cop is on the side of the road. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh, that's what people do.
Yeah.
You know, to the morbid thing. Have you guys, because I myself have seen things that I guess I do want to say that I wish I hadn't seen, but the morbid curiosity takes over. There was a not a congressman, like a comptroller or something in Pennsylvania back in, I think, the 80s.
Yeah.
Late 80s.
He killed himself on camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arbud Dwyer.
Yes.
So
yes.
Yeah. So I've seen that. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Okay.
I've seen it. Yeah.
You know, it's surreal to see, see it happen, because it doesn't, I don't know if your mind doesn't want to think it's real, or it just looks fake, based off what we've seen in movies.
Well, you definitely have a different reaction when you know it's real, as opposed to something in a movie or something. I mean, you can usually tell if it's fake anyway, but yeah, I mean that when it's real and that guy's actually going to do it, it's leading up to it, I had butterflies and I was like, oh shit, what's this going to look like, but yeah,
I couldn't do that. All the beheading videos that people would watch, I couldn't do that. That's no.
Yeah, I only watched one of those, and I didn't. As soon as it started happening, I turned away and got it off. But yeah, that was horrible, man.
All right. Well, we're just a bunch of downers today. Let's bring it up a little bit with Young Frankenstein. You guys have seen Young Frankenstein, right?
Many times.
Fucking Jeremy. Like you say you love comedy. You've never seen Young Frankenstein?
It's not scary.
So. I don't think so. I don't know.
Anyway, so I watched it with Sophie, and surprisingly, you can't buy that digitally anywhere. So I had to find it on Stars, which is the only place you can watch it. So I watched it with my parents and Sophie, and it's rated PG back in the day in 1974 or whenever it came out.
Right.
This goes back to the whole, movies that are awkward to watch thing. There's so many, I knew there were a few innuendos in there, but there's so many innuendos in there.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of innuendos.
So I mean, it's just awkward. It's just funny. Because I watched that when I was a teenager all the time, and I laughed my ass off. And so I haven't seen it in probably 10 years, and I watched it again, and I'm like, oh shit!
Yeah,
it's
you
not
forget.
Just Frau Blucher.
Well, especially if you're sitting with your family, you forget what actually happened, and then when it starts happening, you're like, oh shit, I forgot about this part.
I still feel awkward watching sex scenes with my parents in a movie. It's been one or two times. And I'm like,
it's awful, man. It's awful, man. But
Howard talked about how his dad took him to see Barbarella, I think, back in the day.
Barbarella, wow.
And I guess that's just 2 hours of what's her name, Jane Fonda or whatever, running around
in a fucking bikini. Yeah.
So I thought that was funny.
No, Young Frankenstein, man, that's comedic genius right there. Set aside the innuendo part, with your family and stuff. It's an amazing movie.
Jeremy, that's your homework for the week. Fucking
there you
watch
go.
Bad Trip and Young Frankenstein. You can watch it on Stars.
That's right. There you go. There you go.
What's this Panera thing?
It's not mine. Who put that on there?
That's me.
What's it about?
Well, a woman was working on a Panera Bread, and for some reason, one of the managers came up and asked her what kind of religion, she follows, and she told her that I don't know why she even told her, because it's none of their fucking business. You're not supposed to ask you things like that. But she told her that she was into paganism, and the management was like, oh, So all of a sudden, her husband worked there too. The woman I'm talking about, the pagan, and paganism. It's it's just something outside of the regular realm of religions that you know of. It's like
naturalists.
Yeah, naturalists, things like that. Yeah. So it's not like they're cutting chickens' heads off or whatever. But All of a sudden, the lady noticed that her schedule was getting cut back. She was only being worked a few days a week, and she went to management and said, "Why are my hours being cut back?" And they told her, "Until you start, praising God and all this stuff and become a Christian, that's what your hours are going to be." So she's like, "No." So she called, like the main office, HR, and was trying to file a complaint. And every time she called, they wouldn't take her call. So management was calling upper management and told her about this woman, and they were harassing her at work. They were cutting back her hours, and she couldn't make a complaint. So they ended up finally firing her and her husband, and now she's bringing up a lawsuit against them. So, I mean, that's where it's at right now. She's filed a lawsuit. And I just thought, what the hell? I mean, how can a company get away with doing something like this to somebody? Which I don't think they're gonna, because I think they get their asses chewed off.
Panera's going to throw them under the, hopefully it's a franchisee, because they're going to throw their asses under the bus so quick it's not even going to be funny.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. No shit. Absolutely, man. So
you dumbass.
Yeah.
You want more hours? Why don't you pray to Satan?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So my thing was, is religion? I don't know how you guys feel about what's happened to those people. I don't know how. I know, Mike, you're not very religious. I know you're an atheist or whatever the hell you are.
I think probably agnostic. I think. No, I don't
Catholic.
think. Yeah. Like I said, Carlin's famous line: "Catholic till I reach the age of reason."
Right?
No, that's not a good thing, and I hope they get a bunch of money from Panera or those, if it is a franchisee, from them. Fuck those people.
Exactly.
I don't believe in religions or whatnot, but I mean that shouldn't have any bearing on your status at your job. Especially at fucking Panera.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna cut my hours because whether or not your definition of paganism involves Satan or just goats and nature and all that kind of shit, like you say.
Right.
It's not Satanism, it's paganism. Different. I get it.
You sure it wasn't Hobby Lobby?
Yeah.
Or Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Come on, man! Don't mess with God's chicken.
I'm not getting off the Satan topic, but I sent my daughter and wife a link the other day from a 2 or 3 year old article about why we shouldn't eat at Chick-fil-A, but it's just so damn good. And I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
But my daughter's not going to stop eating there. So my wife probably doesn't care, but my daughter's not going to. She sends me there almost every day. So I can't. What am I going to do? I'm almost the elite level of their club at this point.
I was, and then they changed the levels. It was bullshit. I was red. Now I'm almost there. I think I almost got there today with the kids. But.
That's funny shit.
So, no, I mean, religion should have no place in a business. Whole thing, separation church and state, plus separation church and your fucking work life. Fuck that. You can't hold that against anyone. I don't think we really need to talk about Crime Scene: Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. I will recommend it. It's a good documentary series. It's done by the guy who did Paradise Lost, the story of the West Memphis 3. Joe Berlinger. It's about the woman. You guys probably know the story. She was in Los Angeles. She was a Canadian, but she was I think her parents were Asian or something like that. So she's obviously Asian as well. But she's a Canadian. She goes to Los Angeles for a visit, for a vacation. She's in her 20s or something like that. She's a frequent social media poster. There's video of her in an elevator, acting kind of weird, really weird. And it's just her in the elevator. And then all of a sudden she disappears from view, and they found her body in the water tank on the roof. A few weeks later.
Yes. I heard about this. Yes.
It's really good and really kind of eye-opening, because back then people thought it was a whole conspiracy theory, how could the cops have missed it? But the fact is the cops just didn't think to look in the water tanks until brown water started coming into the other guest rooms from the water tanks. Right. So it's just I thought it was pretty well done. I wish there would have been something, not that I didn't know, because like there was a lot of information in there that I didn't really know, but I guess I was hoping for more of something that would have surprised me, I guess. But it's still a good documentary to watch if you guys are into docs. So
yeah, no, I would check that out. And what's this? Didn't I see something on there about the Mia and
yeah.
Woody
So
Allen thing?
So I watched that because I've had a lot of downtime with COVID and everything. Allen versus Farrow on HBO, really well done. And that's one of the reasons I put that on there. So Jeremy was talking about Cuomo and everything. It's not the same thing, but you gotta. We can touch on that too, Jeremy. I think you shook your head. No, but like I said, like I didn't know anything about this. Vinny, you're a little older than us. Do you follow like the news of like Woody Allen's alleged molestation in the early 90s, like when it was happening?
When it first started happening, I heard a little bit about it. I didn't listen to it much because I really didn't give a shit. But then when he started, with S2E16, falling in love with her and all that stuff, that was a big thing. So yeah, I was, adherent to that. But the thing about Dylan, I didn't know about that part. Just a little bit, not in any great detail. Like I said, I didn't pay much attention to it when it happened or when it came out that there, allegations came out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just watched the trailer of what you put up there, and it looks pretty intriguing. I mean, you've seen it, right? Have you already seen the?
Yeah, I saw all 4. It's really well done. Like I didn't even know who Dylan was. I didn't know that Ronan was Mia Farrow and Woody Allen's biological child, and his real name's Satchel. It's like all this information.
Yeah,
I like learning new things. So
yeah, sure. Well, I didn't know she had 14 kids. I had no idea. I didn't know there were that many.
Yeah. It's a complicated story, but I mean, just the facts that came out and me doing what my job is. I don't know if you guys are aware, but when you interview someone in a forensic style, whether you're law enforcement or something else, you only get so many shots at it, especially with kids. Okay.
Well, sure.
So especially with like a sexual allegation.
Absolutely.
They say you get 2 bites at the apple, basically.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the thing. So these people at this prestigious Yale program that interviewed Dylan, they interviewed her like 9 times, and they started saying that her story changed. You interview I think she was 7 or 6 at the time. Kid. It's gonna change. That's why you only get so many. So
then there were allegations that Mia was feeding it to her, that was telling her what to say, things like that.
Yeah. They show the videos in the show. Like they show the videos that Mia recorded
of her, her kind of coaching her through, right?
Yeah, and it's not even coaching. Like you can, because like I said, with my job, I know a little bit about coaching. You can tell when someone's being coached. Like she's not leading her. She's not asking her, not really yes or no questions. She's just kind of asking for elaboration, and whatever she's willing to talk about. And sometimes she doesn't want to talk. So it's just really well done. I didn't know all that. I only really knew the S2E16 stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I didn't know that Mia Farrow found like a bunch of Polaroids next to a phone in Woody Allen of S2E16 naked. And she I guess she was technically legal at the time. She's probably like 18, 19, but
but still disgusting to her because it's supposed to be their kid. So
it's just it's a shame, like just the fact that the prosecution said that they think they had enough probable cause to go forward with it, but they didn't want to put Dylan through it because when they tried to talk to her at the time, it didn't seem like she was up to a trial. And so now Dylan looks at that and she's like, I kind of wish they would have, but I understand why they didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think
it was intriguing the way Woody Allen, had the power to have the part of the investigation just shut down because of who he was, coming from what was it, a senator or something, or a governor, put the kibosh on it, said,
I forget exactly
into this investigation.
Yeah, I mean, there was a few people that kind of upper echelon, and they had private detectives following Mia and the kids around and things like that. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Kind kind of in the entertainment field, that's not unheard of. I mean, the whole Me Too thing. I mean, I remember before all that came about, what is it, Polanski? There was a whole
Roman
movement in
Polanski.
Hollywood to, oh, well, you know what he did wasn't that bad. He
Yeah,
should be
right,
allowed
right.
back. He should be allowed back in the country. That's not a big deal. I mean,
Right.
what the hell do you mean? And, you know, if Joe Schmo down the street did that, their ass is going to jail.
Oh, well, hell yes.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah,
get
no.
that at all. And
Yeah.
that seems to be, you know, it seems to be accepted in the entertainment industry. At least it was. And I just don't understand it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, and they point this out in the documentary, people tend to try to separate art from the person. And so especially with like a film director, you want to, I've actually never seen that's not true. I thought I'd never seen a Woody Allen movie. I watched Match Point. It actually was really well done, but it's totally different than any of his other movies.
You know, I like his movies. I like him as a director. You know, but yeah, I know it's trying to separate the man from the director from the man and the things that he did in his private life. I used to be able to do that and just say, well, you know, I don't care about his personal life, you know, but when he does things like this and children are involved, it's very hard to make that separation. You know what I mean? I'm not going to say I'm not going to watch another Woody Allen movie, but you know, it does taint the way I thought about him before.
Right.
So.
So that's it. Jeremy, you got anything else on that?
Nope.
All right.
We didn't have
Scam
a lot
emails.
of fun topics.
No, I know.
Yeah, we got a lot of good
fun to
topics
see.
here. A lot of funny stuff, man.
Scam emails I put on there because do you guys check your spam folder? I constantly check my
No.
spam folder because I'm always
I just deleted.
well, I have things that actually go in there sometimes, so I have to take them out. And
Okay.
I never delete any of my emails. So-
Fleshlight ads.
Yo, Flesh.
Oh,
let me
that's
write that
another
down.
that's another thing
Wait.
I want to talk about.
Well, I got to check my spam more often then if Fleshlights
No.
come in there.
So I get an email saying basically that I think it said, "Hey, Michael," or something like that. It's kind of like it's threatening me. It's saying, "Hey, we have a list of the pornography you watch, and we're going to release it to all your friends and whatnot if you don't send us this amount of Bitcoin by a certain time."
Fuck off. Go ahead. Go ahead.
So I look at that. I'm like, "Huh, that's funny." I'm like, do I take this seriously? And I'm like, they have my name, but I'm like, no, I don't give a shit.
No way.
Are they going to include links to make this easier to go view? Or
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, is it just going to be a listing or?
Listen, if you guys are basically
my friends already watched. My friends already watched the porn I watched, so they don't need a list. You know, go ahead, call them up. Who gives a shit?
Now I want to go check my spam folder, see what they've sent me.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just funny. Like I see these things come through, and I'm like, I feel bad because people just like when people get an email from a Nigerian prince promising money, like people fall for this shit, you know. And listen, that's a scary thing. That's basically being blackmailed, and you don't know if it's not true. And listen, all of us look at porn, and you know,
Sure.
I know what you're talking about.
So that's why I wouldn't feel threatened by something like that. I would never feel threatened about something like that. You know,
Porn? What is porn?
Yeah.
Well, back a few years ago when the whole Ashley Madison crack happened, that was messy. Jeremy's giving me a look. That was not good for people, I'd say.
Yeah, probably not.
Vinnie, wasn't this your topic, the young women thing? Young women who are jealous of other young women their age for getting married or because they're in a non-committal relationship. What's that?
Let's see.
Do you have an experience where this happened?
Yeah, I do. Let's see. A friend of mine who had a friend that was getting married, a girlfriend who was getting married. They're having a little bit of a like a bachelorette thing, a gathering of all the girls, all her friends and stuff like that. And they happen to work together, all these girls. And the girl that was getting married, she was like in a management position or whatever. But anyway, the younger girl who has a live-in boyfriend and has for a few years, and the boyfriend's not making the turn to be committed, as far as engagement or marriage or anything like that. So the girl who is getting married, during the party, the girl who is not getting married was making fun of the girl, making jokes, making snide remarks, just showing her jealousy about her getting married. And I've seen this before, not even just from this one incident, where girls are friends with the girls getting married, but they go out of their way to make them feel like shit for getting married and leaving them behind, and leaving them with, say, a boyfriend who's not committal, or just that they're single and they've moved on to pursue their life as a married woman and blah blah blah, children, family, all this kind of stuff. So the younger girls, they may even be the same age, but they're young and they're jealous, so they go out after them, to try to make them feel bad for their success in finding a man and starting to pursue their life as a family, for a family. So I was just wondering if anybody had ever seen anything like that, or what do you think about the younger girls trying to maybe sabotage even the relationship just because they're jealous?
I think I heard you say girls 13 times, but
yeah, girls.
So I don't know if I've actually seen it, but I can see where someone would be a little insecure about their place and want to kind of have an issue with their friends who are kind of moving on in life and feel like they're getting left behind. It's probably an insecurity thing.
Sure.
I feel that way about Jeremy, since he's been with Christine. I don't see him anymore. I don't get invited over.
We invited you over twice in like the last 3 weeks, and you've gotten COVID both times. COVID.
Motherfucker, when did you invite me over? Oh, you invited, that's right. You invited me over for cards or whatnot. But yeah, I did have
my wife texted you yesterday about coming over, and you said you're still in quarantine for 5 days.
No, she said we could go do an escape room to celebrate my birthday this weekend. I'm like, yeah, that's fine if I test negative. And she's like, oh yeah, Chris will freak out. So listen, I'm just trying to.
We were gonna see if you guys wanted to do something, and you're still in quarantine.
Listen,
COVID.
I'll give you COVID. Go fuck yourself.
I'll
make out with you. I'll lick your asshole.
Same guy who made up his shoulders. Same guy who made up his shoulder surgery did not help me move.
That's the show I'm looking for. Right?
Oh my God. Regarding the young thing or whatnot, I listen, if people are doing that, they're not worth your time. Move on. You got to move on, because
I agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, if they're going to do that to you now, I mean, imagine later on in life. I mean, I only have shit. I have a few friends, I have you two. Vinnie, you don't even fucking live in state. Jeremy doesn't live in town. Saint doesn't live in town.
Yeah, he lives in Tampa. Sure.
So I mean, I have a few friends here in town, but even the one buddy before COVID that I could go hang out with, COVID's totally changed that. It's totally changed. Definitely. That who I can go hang out with and whatnot. So listen, if someone can't accept what you're doing or what your decisions are, then then they're not supportive of you. Then they're not good for you, because you're only going to live once. So make it the best of it that you can. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, plus it's going to be uncomfortable for them because they work together too. So that's going to suck.
So my wife and I had a conversation while we were on. This is off topic, of course, but we were on vacation a couple weeks ago. I just sent you guys.
Stay on target.
I just sent you guys a picture. Now I have an astigmatism, and I did not realize that for the longest time until very recently, that the way I see lights is very, very different than what other people see. I see like starbursts coming out of every light.
Okay, I see that.
I see like the headlights and everything.
Sure.
I was just curious. I did not realize I was weird in this, and that everybody didn't see those until it was pointed out to me, well, like a week and a half ago on vacation, that everyone else does not see this.
Yeah, I don't see it like that. I don't see it like the photo on the left. I don't see starburst like that.
Mike, you got anything?
I don't think so. I mean, you're weird in general, so this doesn't surprise
Thanks.
me.
I appreciate that.
Never
claimed
listen.
different.
No, I mean, I don't think I have an astigmatism. I'll tell you, my dad, this is on topic, but off topic. So my dad's, again, with my dad, his, he has his truck that he's had since 2001. He didn't know how to change the wiper blades on his truck. So instead of asking me or asking someone at Advanced Auto Parts to change the wiper blades for him, he literally let the wiper blades scratch his windshield to shit.
Oh my
God. So
dude.
you literally can't drive that truck at night. And that's why I bring it up, because when I do try to drive it at night, like if I have to go pick something up at Lowe's or something, it's like it looks like the photos Jeremy says where I'm looking. It's like all blurry and like
So if you guys squint at a light, you'll kind of see what I see all the time, because there'll be like little rays of light coming out of a light bulb. If you look at a bright light, like a singular point
I got you.
You see when you squint, like it has like almost rays. I see that all the time.
Are you just trying to make a squint on camera?
Well, that works too.
Well, are these both supposed to be the way you see it?
No.
Yeah, the one on the right is normal.
Yeah, left is what I see.
Left is what you see. Yeah,
all the time.
I don't know what I see. I'll have to go check it out when I go out. I don't think
you would notice. You would notice.
That's actually pretty cool. I would feel like a superhero if I saw lights like that.
Yeah. It's a problem when there's a lot of bright single point lights.
Yeah, then there's a lot. Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Did we take a break at 11? I don't even remember.
No.
I don't know.
Oh. Y'all are like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't know.
We took 2 or 3 already.
You just want to stick it up? Okay, let's stick with it. What? Go ahead.
No, how many what do we got left?
We got like
some of these we already talked about.
Yeah.
So the mask mandate we talked about, right?
Yes.
Yeah, PR and losing friends I think we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We didn't talk about the going through old CDs and hard drives. So I bring that up because I had a whole bunch of CDs, just laying around. Jeremy knows what I'm talking about because I know he has the same thing, probably still has them. So
I don't know if I do or not.
So the other day, during my 3-month hiatus from work with my shoulder, I bought a disc reader for which you don't see disc drives on computers anymore. So I bought one. And so I decided to look at some of these old discs that I had laying around.
You had the door closed, right?
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff on there that listen, it's a different age. Like we couldn't just pull up for it on the phone.
How many videos of Heather Brooks were on there, Mike?
There are a few, probably. Yeah, no, I did see a few of them. But what surprised me too, like I guess back in the day, like, and this is when downloading wasn't as easy as it is now. I found like hundreds of pictures of like Britney Spears and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Like why? And they're not naked or anything. Like why did I save all these? Like it's just so weird to me. You know what I mean? What was I thinking back then?
You're creepy.
I know, but
Vinnie, you still there?
Up. Yeah. You're creepy. Yeah, I'm here. No, I'm not. Okay. I'm not freezing up. You're are.
Not creepy. No.
See, I'm not
Vinnie and Mike are fine.
You're freezing up. Mike's freezing up.
I've been good for a while now. Thank you with my 1 gigabyte Comcast internet.
I love that. Wait, Mike and Jeremy are both freezing up right now. It must be them.
It is them. It's you guys. You guys are freezing up.
This motherfucker. I can't tell if he's actually frozen or not. I can't tell if he's just waiting or frozen.
Just sitting there with his mouth open, waiting to talk.
Just sitting there.
Vinnie used up his broadband allotment for the month already. So yeah, it just amazed me.
No, man. There's no reason why that should be going like that.
You gotta turn off all the other programs. Like
I look good on this end. I don't know. I look good for me.
Do you guys have you guys ever come across that issue where you stumble across some stuff you're like, what the fuck was I thinking? Whether it's porn or pictures or programs, like on my hard drives, I found a bunch of like just random folders and files, and if I couldn't identify what it was, I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time, and I scrapped it. You know what I mean? So,
I haven't cleaned out a computer in a while.
Sometimes.
So probably would come across some shit that I was like, why do I have this? But I don't go on the computer much anymore since your phones can do so much. I don't have
any old computer shit.
I mean, at work I have
At all.
files, but I don't do like spreadsheet work and shit at the house most of the time. Don't write papers anymore. I'm sure I could fucking still find some papers I wrote for like high school and college if I really tried.
I think I still have some stuff, but I think I went through all that stuff like last year, the past few years, I went through all that stuff and got rid of some stuff. So
You know, I'm missing the Dalai Lama is live on Facebook right now. You guys are making me miss that.
Oh, well, I mean, we could end it if you really need to. We cleared a bunch of stuff out, but
His Holiness the Dalai Lama. I want to see what he's talking about today.
He was in another documentary I watched recently, The Vow, about the Nexium cult up in Albany.
Is that the one with the girls from Smallville?
Yeah, Allison Mack. Yeah, I watched that.
She had the other one involved for a while too.
Kristen Crook. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was interesting. I enjoyed that, and it's going to have a second season with the guy.
Where was
that? In Albany, New York.
No. Where's the documentary?
Oh, and it's on HBO. There's actually another one. There's another one on Stars. I forget what it's called. I think it's called Seduced, and it's from the daughter of an actress from Dynasty. I think her name's India Oxenberg. I think she produced that one. I didn't watch that one. I don't know if it's any good or not, but The Vow was pretty good.
He's talking about morals and ethics today.
Isn't that what he talks about? Isn't that his thing?
Yeah.
I don't see anything left on our list that we need to cover tonight.
Oh, you're ending the show? We don't want to talk about... Well, March Madness is over, right? So we can't even do that fucking bracket shit we're going to do.
There's well, we can still do some bracket shit later. It doesn't have to be today.
Yeah, I know. I just thought it went along with March Madness when we talked about it.
I didn't prepare a bracket. I don't know about you guys.
I give you guys homework. You don't do shit.
I don't bracket.
Did you do it? Did you do it, Mike?
That's not the question.
That's some funny shit.
What a massive deflector.
Vinny, what do you think about this Publix guy in Atlanta who fucking brought like ARs and pistols and was loading them up in the fucking bathroom stall? What would you think if you walked into the bathroom of a Publix, which you guys know they're not really that big, and
right.
You hear fucking guns being loaded, ammunition being put in, and I'd freak out. So,
well, I'd tell him to flush before he left, for one thing.
I'd go shop at Winn-Dixie that day.
Exactly. Yeah, of course, I'm pressing 911 as I walk the fuck out of that store. But yeah, that would be kind of fucked up to walk in on.
I don't know. Would you pull the fire alarm on your way out the door?
Sure, why not?
I guess. I mean, that could have been a really bad situation.
But then again, that might alarm him and make him come out blazing.
Yeah.
So
what was the end? What did he say he was doing? Or
I didn't read what he said he was doing, but I think the cops got there when he was still in the bathroom. So like
he had body armor on and everything.
Yeah, body armor. Like, so like there's fucking there's people out there, and I don't know, it's mental issues, just fucking I don't know what it is, but
how the fuck did he get in there with all that shit without anybody seeing anything?
I think he had it under a coat or something. Like, so I don't know if it was a trench coat or what.
Well, maybe somebody was suspicious because obviously they caught him while he was still in the bathroom. So I guess somebody called him.
Yeah. All right. I mean, we can cover the last few things if you guys want, or we can end it and leave those for next week. You think we need to have a few things for next week because we're not going to think of anything before the next.
That's right.
No, something will come up. Something will happen.
So this is I'll release this either tonight or tomorrow. So that way it's a timely show. And then we have the Ramanda Brockett.
Oh my God.
Bracket.
I love her.
Yeah.
Love
going
her.
On Sunday. So
she has a great personality.
She emailed me the other day asking about the links. I'm like, we haven't forgotten about you. It's just we had some other interviews we put out first, and so you're scheduled to come out on the 4th. So
you got to put her out, man. She's gonna bother you until.
It's literally scheduled and everything to go up on YouTube and on all the podcast streams, but just this Sunday at 10 p.m. So.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah, so this will go up either tonight or tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. I'm feeling a little tired, so.
You look like shit too.
She's very passionate.
I do look like shit. I mean, I'm like sweaty and like I'm not feverish, but like this is a vaccine because I got my second dose the other day, and
you need some therapy. You need some of that.
I'm good if we don't hang out for a while.
I told you I got my second dose, so theoretically I have the natural immunity plus 2 doses.
You need some dance therapy, man.
Dance therapy.
Help.
All right. Anything else you guys want to touch before we leave?
You put your left leg.
No,
You put your left leg
not
behind your
good.
head. You put your left leg behind your head, and you try to lick your ass. Those are the moves that she's got going there.
I can't reach.
Call it the hump a dump.
He's tried.
Who hasn't tried? Jeremy, tell me you haven't tried.
Jesus.
Vinny, what, you liar? Vinny, you tried, right? Come on,
Hey,
everyone's tried.
Trust me, if I could reach, I'd never leave the house.
That's what I'm talking about.
I would be in this house constantly. 700 pounds, licking my ass.
That's a picture. That's a visual to go out on.
There's our quote from this episode.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. Now I know where to go find it. All right. So if you guys want to get in touch,
I'm going to make that my ringtone.
240-724-6877, theusualsaints.com. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, The Usual Saints. Facebook group, The Usual Saints, LinkedIn, The fucking Usual Saints, The Usual Saints. I don't want to say The fucking Usual Saints. They won't be able to find us. I can't tell if Jeremy froze or if he's just, oh no, okay.
No, he's not frozen.
So yeah, just go find us at theusualsaints.com. You can find everything. I always update on the main page. I update the latest interview. So right now Zeb's going to be up there for, I guess, until Ramanda comes up. But on the interviews page, you can find all the interviews to see.
Got a great personality.
Shit, motherfucker. All right, guys, reach out to us, usualsaints.com, Mike D at theusualsaints.com. Did I say usualsaints@gmail.com? We got so much stuff.
You said Usual Saints about 17 times.
Just go to theusualsaints.com and find all our information on there.
There you go.
Too much stuff. All right. So for Jeremy and Vinny, this is Mike D with Jeremy's loud ass house in the background saying thanks for listening to The Usual Saints.
Peace.
Oh, yeah, it is pretty loud.
Yeah, it is fucking loud every day,
What do you want me
every
to do?
time.
There's 3 other people that live here. What the hell you want me to do?
You can go like get muzzles for them, get a ball gag.
It's not that. It's the TVs.
I don't know,
They're actually
man.
fairly. The people aren't making a lot of noise. Well, they were clean.
You could probably get your wife one of these noise canceling headphones. Oh, what did I do? I made a noise.
Right.
All right.
All right. No, that was 2.5 hours of our lives gone.
Was it 2.5 hours? Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
All right. I'm stopping now.
Never get
Stop
that
the
back.
recording. Never get that back.
Have any luck finding people?
Haven't reached out. Have you?
Well, for interviews?
I sent a couple
All right,
messages.